Everybody to the very first episode of the Witness Guild.
Make sure you hit the
recording. Yeah, we're recording.
I'm excited.
Okay.
This is the first time.
Stream and recording.
Before we get started, my name's Mike Steiger. I am the current DM or Guildmaster, if you will, of the Witness Guild. We have some preliminary stuff to run through, so let me pull up my notes real quick.
You can call him Daddy.
And you can call me Daddy all you want.
I'm not going to call you Daddy.
Unfortunately, there are other people on this stream that call me Daddy. They're watching right now.
Hi, kids!
Yeah. Hi,
Oh,
kids.
your kids are watching? Oh,
it's great. My cousins are watching.
Oh, I definitely.
Family from Michigan is watching. Like, this is... God, I'm
should we keep the language to like...
No. This literally has like mature warning content on it. Like,
yeah,
cool.
it does. I put a thing on our page.
Good call.
So let's go ahead and get into it. Here on the Guild, we'll be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition because that's the most recent edition and it's the one that we are all familiar with. I've been playing for about the last 3 years, and through that have introduced most of the people at the table to the game. Yeah, you guys are all on screen, so anything you're doing right now, everybody can see. I'm just kidding. We'll be doing this every Tuesday from now on. Roughly 6:15, 6:30 start time. Sorry about the late start. Had some computer problems today, but we got them worked out. Hopefully, as we do this better and better and better each week, we'll get it down into a rhythm where we can start on time. Our program's a little different than most streams. As you've seen before, we're not going to name any other streams out there because they're our competitors and we don't want to draw names to them. But we'll be switching off. Currently, I sit in the hot seat as Dungeon Master, but based on the circumference of everybody's pinky toes, in relation to the geothermal activity in Norway, we'll be choosing new DMs after about 40 or 50 sessions. Slowly, fucking giggling out over there, dude.
Stupid.
It is stupid. Every 40 to 50 sessions, we'll be running it through and changing the DM. We have a little schedule set out, and in that way, we're hoping to draw more of a story and more world building that is from different sets of eyes, different adventurers, different gods, different whatever the DM can come up with through the realm of Ethway, which is a homebrew talent from everybody at the table who's contributed to it. It's been a long process. We've had a lot of, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to eat pizza, those kinds of things. Like every other person on the planet, we're all different. We don't play hard lawyer rules here on the Witness Guild. We're very much so rule of fun, and so sometimes you might see us bend a rule here or break a rule here. Please save the hateful comments. We're amateurs.
Well,
we're
total
amateurs.
Whoa.
Send us hateful comments.
Whoa.
Maybe not hateful.
Speak for yourself.
Educate us, I think. We want to be educated, right?
I don't know.
You don't want to be?
I'm perfect in all ways, shapes, and forms.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard that.
You can tell me how bad I suck. That's very bad.
This, like we said, has been a long time coming. But tonight we can finally say that we've made it. So congratulations to everybody at the table. Congratulations to everybody that supported this, and including young Chrissy, who has been a great help for all of our artwork.
Are you Christy? Hi,
Chrissy, okay.
Hello, Christy.
Yeah.
That was a general. There are two people over there that have some sort of relationship to her.
No one knows where you're born.
They can. Nobody knows where I'm pointing. Nobody knows where I'm pointing. Debbie and Hunter have close relationship to Christy. Who? What's her handle these days?
Baby Pink Cactus
Baby
on
Pink
Instagram.
Cactus. Okay, perfect. And she's going to be expanding that portfolio, and we'll keep you guys updated with all the information that we have on that. None of us are professional actors. None of us have any formal acting training. None of us have done theater. Okay.
I was in drama class.
Yeah.
I was a
Freshman year.
I
Freshman year.
too. Junior high, killed it.
Nailed it.
I mean, I can act.
I was the youngest of all my siblings, so I'm pretty good at faking it.
So were your many wives.
Hey. Stupid. We do bring our hearts and souls into this experience, and our hope is that in sharing it that we can provide an experience that people enjoy, and reach out to the community a little bit better.
I inside check
We
that?
have go for it. We have no sponsors whatsoever. It's hard to read, man.
Hard to read, yeah.
Hard to read. We have no sponsors. All this was self-funded. Everyone at the table has purchased something or helped in some way, spent time, energy, money to bring this to life.
I feel terrible.
Oh my god.
I shut up.
You brought Kit. Well,
You-
it's arguable who brought
You have
Christy.
brought Chrissy.
Hunter's juice.
Buddy.
Just doing some things on the side.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I brought the artist.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
You brought the talent.
Although it could be argued that
Brought the
Debbie
talent.
also brought the talent.
Matthew, give it to me, please.
Well, then what does Debbie get?
She brought the house.
She brought Chris.
She did.
Well, Chris brought Chris.
Yeah, we
I think
played
if anything, Chris brought that.
at one of our friends'
true.
house in
Whoa, studio.
badass studio. It's a studio. It's a studio.
Clearly.
Going into acknowledgments, Christopher, I believe you have some information that you would like to share. Yeah, let me put you in the hot seat here, bro.
Yeah, I have to pull it back up. Okay, so, like you said, we don't have
And I'm not trying to be a dick because I know you bought me my first dye bag, Zoe, but these things are really cool. Like, have you guys checked them out yet?
Zoe, just don't be his friend anymore.
It's
Walk right out.
I haven't put
dice.
dice in anything else to date. I just might put my spare dice because this is getting a little full.
Whatever, you can put your dice in whatever bag you
Oh,
want.
I put it in whatever bag I want.
See that green thing on the table?
Perfect. One more. Oh, by the way, I believe Matthew and Devin, you guys had something for us as well, correct?
I
Yes.
saw what you were doing.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you guys. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Hunter, you've been canceled already.
Yeah. No, we're off.
First
we're
one.
off there.
It's okay.
Amen.
Which is like, nope, can't have it. Stay with
What happens when
biblical.
you're ugly? You get canceled. I'm used to it.
I'm used to
I'm
it.
used to it.
Leona said the sound was cutting off and on.
Oh no! How bad, Liana? I don't know.
She said she couldn't hear Devin talking.
Oh, is it because Devin doesn't enunciate?
We might have
Enunciate,
to,
Devin.
Have to,
Hey,
so
Matthew.
again, we apologize
You can grab
for
that
anyone
backpack. Should be on the side of that.
bring
When
this
it goes
forward.
to multiple screens, she
Should be
can
right there.
hear.
She can hear.
Yeah.
Oh,
when
it might be a
goes to one
screen transfer.
Interesting. Interesting. I
And then
wonder.
just other
if-
black bag. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
You know
Right up
what?
against the.
You know what?
Technical
I know what it is.
difficulties,
I know
round
what it is.
one.
I know what it is.
Yes,
It's
sir.
technical difficulties round
You
one.
need-
All right.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Liana, for the good catch. We really appreciate that. If you guys wouldn't mind giving me just one moment here to add. Chris, that's left mic on the table, right?
10 points to Gryffindor.
10 points to Gryffindor.
I'm actually wearing my Southern socks today. Oh hell yeah! Represent.
Here. All right.
Anyone else here? Hufflepuff?
So we're gonna.
Hufflepuff!
Yeah! That's
You're
right.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Calm. All right, Devin, if you wouldn't mind going over that one
Okay,
more time.
sure.
Um,
That was just practice.
I know it was a good.
Yeah,
practice.
it was really good practice.
There was
Debbie just
any
texted
But this time, look at the camera.
Find it.
Yeah,
Liana's our sound.
IT lady.
Look at the
Yeah,
camera.
IT lady, Liana.
Okay,
I'll look at the camera for you.
good. Teamwork.
Yeah.
We just wanted to ease any concerns about our gathering during these crazy times in the era of COVID-19. We decided a few months ago that the people in this room are going to form our quarantine group so that we could continue to have fun playing D&D in the safety of our own homes. Outside of these gatherings, we've been following all CDC guidelines regarding COVID, including wearing masks out in public, social distancing, and avoiding large groups of people in places such as restaurants and bars. We've also been self-monitoring each day for any signs or symptoms and have been communicating with each other regularly whenever a concern arises. We hope everyone is doing okay in these rough times and extend our condolences to anyone who may have lost someone to this awful pandemic or know someone who is struggling with COVID right now. We will continue to take safety measures going forward as we stream our sessions.
Perfect. Thank you. Truly, our deepest condolences to anyone who's suffered loss. I think everybody here at the table knows someone, so we take it very seriously, and this is just kind of our way of relaxing and getting out of the shit of it. And so here we are. Before we go any further, I just want to say that we are going to be tackling big, heavy, uncomfortable dog coughs and issues.
Is that Luna?
Yeah, that was a
That was Luca.
if you are easily offended, if you're sensitive, you're young, impressionable, or easily offended, this may not be the show for you.
So Mike's kids.
My kids are the furthest thing from
We have the
easily
maturity
offendable.
button on.
We have the maturity button on.
Base nectar.
Base nectar.
Base Nectar's watching. Base Nectar's watching.
God.
Stupid dude.
We will have a little halftime as well to give us time to take a PP.
Yep, a quick PP. There's going to be an intermission,
No time for
and hopefully
Yeah,
next
no
week
poo-poos, but we have PPs.
snappier with it.
Some of us
My
have
favorite
PPs.
Cat Williams. With the monster.
All of our characters, so stupid. All of our characters are fictional, and any similarity between our characters and any persons or characters from the real world or any other is purely coincidental, and not intended to infringe upon the rights of any individuals or creators. I think that's all. Does anyone else have anything they want to throw out before we get started?
Eventually, my wife and I will be making dice that we will eventually be selling.
Plugging ourselves early.
Yeah, why not?
I like it.
Oh, and we can do giveaways.
Yeah, we'll do dice giveaways.
Subscriptions and
Eventually.
whatnot.
We're not
As we hit
quite
certain
ready.
levels of
We have no idea what we're doing. We barely got this.
we barely got this up. Yeah.
It was literally
So-
like
Today was hectic.
2 minutes past the
Okay.
last
But
minute.
we're here.
My heart. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. My heart's just beating through my chest.
We're
right
here.
now.
We're here.
I've taken Tums. I've taken Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, yeah.
I'm set, man.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm going to have
Not
no
a
poops
sponsor.
today.
None!
Not a sponsor
Not a
of the show. Anyone else have anything else? Good to go?
We wish.
G to G,
I know,
homie.
right? Give me that pink
Good to
liquid.
go. Excellent. In that case, for all of you at home,
Boxes.
go ahead and empty your bladders. Grab a cold drink. Hide your kids and hide your wife, because...
A 2012 meme coming in.
Expect a lot more.
Go.
As we open the gates and let the woodness flow into tonight's episode of the Woodness Guild. Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know,
Oh, we should
woodness
get one
is
of
a
those
term.
memes.
That was me.
Woodness is a term from antiquity that means madness.
Mad.
You're not supposed to tell people this.
Why not?
I mean, it's probably like
Hey,
6
nobody wants to
people
be
right now.
educated. They want to watch the game.
It's called educated.
Play the game,
Play the
boys
game.
and girls.
All right.
Whatever else.
But follow, rate, subscribe.
Follow, rate, subscribe. I don't know. That was all I really planned for right there. I didn't
I'm
plan
not
for
usually one
anything
that-
else.
Did you write a story? Like,
Yeah, no.
Something
All
going with
right.
it.
So that's the first episode, guys.
Good
And
night.
good
we
night.
had one full official roll.
One official roll. All right. So.
Did we want to go around and introduce ourselves?
Oh, we should probably do that.
Just
while
like,
we
hey,
get
I'm
started.
blank and I'm playing blank.
Dude, that sounds great. Let's start with this side of the table.
Let's
Zoe,
not.
okay.
Oh, you mean over there? Yeah. He's pointing over there.
Yeah, me. Okay.
What? No, I said Zoe.
Yeah, well, she passed the buck. I don't know, man.
Go Zoe, go.
Go,
I'm
Zoe.
taking domination.
This is Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
You're number 1.
I'm Zoe. I am Luca, the changeling bard.
Fancy.
Super fancy. I like to party.
Good times. Good times.
Hello, I'm Debbie, and my name is Odette in the game, and I'm a centaur monk.
Perfect.
My name is Hunter Jones. The character I'll be playing is High Elf, and the name is Connak.
What's your class?
Can't tell you.
Oh, shit.
Intrigue.
Dun dun dun.
Am I next? My name's Chris. I am playing a Luxodon druid named Phan. PH. PH Phan.
And Loxodon is an elephant man.
Yes, and a Luxodon is an elephant man. I'll talk like this.
Okay. Are you done? My name is
Quality stuff there.
My name is Devin. I'll be playing a Kenku ranger named Gwannipoe, and a Kenku is a giant raven man.
And he's a boy.
Yes, my character is a boy. I'm the only one who gender flopped it in here.
I would argue that, actually.
You don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't know at this point.
As far as I know, I'm the only one who gender
As
flopped.
far as I know.
I'm not sure what I identify as yet.
All right.
He's taking the
That's
journey.
actual space turtle.
My name is Matthew, and I'm playing Nebuntash, and Nebu for short, and I'm a Kalishtar warlock.
That's a mouthful.
Makes sense.
It is.
All right, guys. Perfect. So now you know the players. Now we know the names. It's going to be a little rough to start, but let's get into it.
Where do we
have
leave
music?
off?
What happened to the music?
Oh, I'm supposed to be in charge of DJ.
Wow.
DJ, that's not DJ.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
All right. Wow, guys. This is just off to great starts. The realm of Ethway. Sometimes pronounced Ithway. Sometimes pronounced Ethway. Depends. Depends on where you're at. A vast continent, 6,000 miles across. Land of great opportunity, also great mysteries, and even equally great dangers. From the far deserts, the far northern deserts, that nobody knows what to call them because we haven't gotten there yet, to the eastern shores, where more, what do they call it? Anthropomorphic animal type creatures come from. Vast glaciers run straight down the middle of the continent. Man, I really suck at intros right now.
Day
Work it.
Day?
1.
Well, it's day 0 technically.
Right now.
Dude,
It was supposed to be day 0.
I just want you guys to know I was on a plane from Michigan at 3 in the morning.
What?
It's been great. I was in Michigan this morning.
Okay.
It's been really good.
Nice
You guys have traveled from far across this this continent, this massive horseshoe-shaped continent with a huge 3,000-mile ocean in the middle. You've all found your way somehow to the southeastern corner of this area. Several cities dominate in this region, one being City Gatling. City Gatling is the predominant infrastructure, predominant economy. They have a massive navy. They control the channel that flows in and out from the outer sea and the inner sea. All trade must go through there. They have all the greatest technologies to date. They have the largest navy, the biggest economy, and the most, what some of you may know as corrupt political systems. But that's not where our story starts. Our story, as some of you may know from our Zero session, starts in the city of Goodfellow, along the eastern border of the continent. It's a smaller city, attempting in many ways to try and outdo City Gatling. Their natural harbor provides a great place for ships to come in and dock. Some dangers are present, but for the most part, it's a very warm city, and those of you who have explored it know that the people there can be quite friendly and welcoming. The morning rise of the sun, you find, excuse me, wow, I totally just drew a blank. Odette, you wake up, lying on the floor of the Taproots Tavern in the eastern ward of Goodfellow. You start to stir yourself awake and raise your head slightly as you look over and see your good friend Luca. Thank you. Shit, that's gonna take me a minute. Luca, snuggled tightly in her blankets, knowing full well that you guys have business to take care of this morning. What do you want to do?
What time is it?
It's early. Sun has pretty much
And we're
just
just laying
risen.
on the floor of the tavern?
You're laying on the floor in a room because beds aren't quite made for centaurs. It was even a push. I would say even trying to get the barkeep after the rousing fights and wrestling that you guys pretty much dominated. Nebuntash also being part of that. Am I saying that right?
Nebuntash.
Nebuntash. Also having been part of that. You guys had finally convinced a barkeep after drawing in plenty of money that it was okay for you to sleep in this room, but what do you want to do?
Are they serving breakfast?
Yeah, you could wander downstairs. It wouldn't be too hard. You go downstairs, kind of taking it very carefully. I don't know if you've ever seen a cow or a horse try to walk downstairs. It's not pretty.
It's close to impossible, guys.
It's
Go
close to- I believe
downstairs.
that was a senior prank once.
The hind legs can't just.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I have to hop.
You come down that very brisk morning air from the ocean blowing through. The old barkeep sitting behind his tavern. There's tables still pushed up against the walls. There's only one patron in the corner who looks like he's still hiccuping his drinks away. The barkeep leaning up against the wall, polishing a very dirty glass with an equally dirty rag. Looks over at you and morning. What do you have?
What do you mean? What do I have?
What do you have? What do you have?
Oh, what will I have?
It's a northern accent. It's not quite from
What's your
around
special?
here. Oh, the specials today. Well, I think we got some left over. Hey, Fargus! Fargus, get out of here! And you see this little tiny gnome come hustling out from a little door. And he comes hustling out. Fergus, what's the special today? And Fergus, this squat little gnome, a little chubbier than you would expect, a little bit of crow's feet developing on the eyes, but still looks pretty youthful other than that. Fergus looks around and goes, all right, I told you, didn't I? We're serving the potatoes, and we're serving the bread. Otherwise, it's gonna go bad. Now, what else do you want, you old man? Get out of here, you scamper along. Potatoes and bread.
Sounds good. Do you want some?
Oh, did you wake me up?
No, do I?
We'll say for the point of expediency, yeah. Luca heard you.
Way to roll the punches.
Wait, is this a dream?
Oh, wait.
Am I awake?
So are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll say,
okay.
we'll say as the
2 specials, please. The potato and bread.
very well. And he kind of walks off into the back. The room is empty. It's a little disheveled. You can see hoof marks in the ground from where you'd had some rough and tumble moments. A couple minutes goes by, and the barkeep comes back out with 2 oval dishes, one with some soggy and possibly stale, moldy bread. The other one has these potatoes that look
It's
like
going
they have
bad.
been pureed.
Bad.
So while the bread does look gross, the potatoes have this very interesting swirl to them. It's almost like they've been smashed to a point of liquidity and then reformed. It is the strangest looking thing, and then oven roasted. You're not quite sure. Taking a bite of it trepidly, they're delicious. The bread looks terrifying, however. As you're sitting there, you hear footsteps on the stairs as Nebuntash makes his way down from his slumber.
Hey, Nebuntash! Come eat with us. We'll have another one.
I'm actually going to pass on that. Thank you.
Your loss.
What?
What?
Okay.
Hey,
Go for it. Go for it.
I'll just have a water, thank you.
Okay.
Just a water for me. I'm just not hungry at the moment.
But, yeah, sure.
It's what? It's 7 in the morning.
There's a trough outside. Help yourself.
Fine, I'll have an ale.
I got that. And he scuffles off. And you see him grab that same dirty dish that you guys had.
You're a
the
good
mug,
salesman.
And he just starts pouring it and
colder.
presents it to you. It's foamy. It's cold. It's
So that was crazy shit last night.
Make sure you have it.
I couldn't even believe it. I mean,
It's
my
on you.
hoof marks are on the floor. It was
Yeah, I
so
noticed
crazy.
that.
I lost a lot of money. Lost a lot of money.
No. I didn't have much money to lose.
Same.
But it was fun to watch.
Well, what time are we meeting the guy for the thing? Exhausted.
Yeah, it's a bit fuzzy for me as well.
The abbess had contacted you. The abbess of the orphanage had contacted you last night. She was very forward in her presentation of like wanting you guys to be there for the help that you had rendered for them. She said sometime, in the early morning around 8:30, but clocks are kind of weird here, so.
And what time is it right now?
It's probably 7:30, 8 o'clock.
How long does it take for us to get from here to the orphanage?
Not very far. It would only
No.
take you about 5-10 minutes.
Well, whenever you ladies are ready.
I'd very much like to take a whore bath, if you don't mind.
Did you say a whole bath?
A whore. A lady of the night.
That's what I thought you said. Can I join
Sit
you?
back. We'll be done in a quickie.
I don't need very long.
I would like to go upstairs. Are there
I try to follow
wipings
them.
of some sort?
So taverns at this point haven't evolved to the indoor plumbing era. They're pretty much rooms, and if you want to wash yourself, there's usually a trough in the front of the building and an outhouse in the back. A water
Luca.
closet, if you will.
Luca would like to take Odette to the room and lick her face.
I would also like to follow and try and do that as well.
Make a stealth check. Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Not particularly.
Okay, then never mind. Yeah.
I'm going to close the door immediately before.
Yeah, the door just as soon as you come around the corner, you're like, yeah. Door
Don't
shuts
be
in
so
your face.
close-minded. Oh, come
I
on.
back my butt horse up to the door so you can't open it. We need our little time at the moment.
I try cutting a hole in the door.
Were you using to cut a hole? Okay. I was like, oh no. Boring holes, man.
I would like to stick my finger in the hole aggressively.
Well, when you change your mind, I'm always ready. I want you to know that.
Terrible.
Never been with a horse, but I'm not close-minded.
Alright, so you guys have your moment of solidarity together. This tender time. 10-15 minutes goes by, the door opens again. At this
I'm just
point,
waiting the whole time.
Oh. you open the door and Nebuntash is standing
Your
there
ear
like,
up against the door.
oh.
He like falls in. Oh,
I couldn't help but hear you weren't wearing a saddle.
I'll give it to him.
that's good.
We prefer bareback.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yes. Nay.
I
Nay.
heard a lot of
Centaur's
that.
nay? No.
I would imagine
Yeah,
they
guys
have
are
to at least do the purring thing.
They at least
I
Just
wouldn't
every now
nay.
and then.
No.
You wouldn't.
She
Not with
doesn't
you.
nay.
She's not
Not to
nay.
you.
She don't nay nay.
I don't know.
You guys find your way outside
Nay.
the tavern after a little while. There seems to be a gathering of people. It's not hard to figure out. You guys had been there before. Looking around, the tabaxi that had worked with you, you don't see him, but you keep a weathered eye out. The people gathering in the streets kind of circle around this one central square area. There's what you know to be the library on the right side of this building, and you believe it's some sort of infirmary or hospital of some sort. To the, did I say left? Left? Yeah, left. The giant stonework buildings, the masonry on these things, massive stones. It would take somebody extremely strong to move them into place. Not impossible for one person, but it would have to be somebody really big. These buildings are built to weather storms that come through here frequently, while the island just off the shore does provide some natural barrier. The winds in here can get pretty fierce. The building's probably about 60 feet tall, maybe 100 feet deep. It's kind of like a network of hallways and tunnels that lead to different areas. There's a main sleeping quarter inside the orphanage, but currently the giant double door is probably about 20 feet tall to 5-7 feet wide, are tied with a cute little blue sash, almost like a ribbon, and there seems to be the orphanage caretaker, Bertram Kalawia. I made all these names up. Bertram Kalawia. His skin pale, though it does look like it has some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It does look like it's tangible. It looks like it has presence in the world, physical form to it. It is almost translucent at points, and you watch every now and then as just a gust or a whip of wind will just cause his cloak to burst out, although there doesn't seem to be any wind in the area. His hair, long and silvery, always seems to be billowing behind him, just very gently, almost like he's submerged in water constantly. You would know this person to be a air genocide. His voice, very soft, very welcoming, as he spreads his arms and begins his little effigy, welcoming everybody in the general area. At this point, 3 other adventurers, you would have been walking back to the city, having recovered a particular book of interest, not necessarily to you, but you two, you recognized a word inside of it. It's more of a symbol from stories that you heard in your times with your crew. They would share kind of spooky ghost stories together, and one of them stuck out more as a symbol than anything else of the Yagigama. And
What was it?
Yagigama, Yagigama. That's a thing. Phan, you, having taken hold of the book after hearing Gwannipoe kind of squawk off about it, grabbing it, that overwhelming feeling of heinous, evil, darkness, just in the pit of your stomach. You couldn't put a finger on where it was coming from necessarily. You know the source is the book, but you're not sure why. And realizing that it was in a language that none of you speak, decided to return to Goodfellow to try and get somebody at the university to translate it for you. As you come around the bend, the beautiful sun coming over the ocean, rising over the ocean, casting this soft amber light that is fading more into the natural light of the day. You see a large crowd before you, probably 60, 70 people gathered around one stone building, and there seems to be somebody dictating from the front, giving some sort of rhetoric. You stop for a moment and listen, and you hear the soft voice of Bertram as he finishes his speech. And the people of Goodfellow have come together once more to provide a service to the children of this fine city. No more shall we have to burden our families with the day-to-day caretakings and wanderings of our lost children. Now we have one unified place, and through our hard work, may it continue to prosper, continue to be a home for the lost and the weary. And as he kind of closes, you hear like this soft, gentle applause. And now may I introduce the abbess, who shall be running the show, if you will. The abbess, she's an older human, weathered skin, short hair, shaved on the side, and combed on the top. It's very shorter than a pixie. It's very G.I. Jane, but maybe a little bit more grown out because she's not quite bald.
Like your hair?
Yeah, like your hair.
Shots fired.
Savage.
G.I. Jane is just what I was looking for to describe that.
Yeah.
Abbas, is
Got
that
an itchy nose.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah,
to
no,
spell it.
suddenly,
Maybe ABY.
so crazy. Odette's head just... The abbess, Yvette Palicchio, steps forward and gives a graceful bow. I was never much one for words. Not like you, Bertram. So, if you don't mind, I think it's about time we let the wee ones go home, wouldn't you say? And the crowd, "Ah!" You hear everybody kind of start shouting. She pulls out a small knife. Everybody go ahead and make perception checks for me.
First roll, and it's
First
horrible.
Ah, that's 20.
All right.
Young 6.
Yeah.
3.
Actually, do I get an add on that?
Wait.
I
yeah.
love it. I
What was
love
it? What check was it?
Perception.
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 Wow.
12.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Did I get
4. Very perceptive.
Serious issue. I can't do music and look at my thing on my phone, so I'm gonna have to go
Oh,
on
wait,
my
I got a
computer here in a
10.
second. But I'll do that
Yeah.
in a second.
Yeah. If you want to run off mine,
No,
you're welcome to do so.
It's fun.
Or I have my iPad. Not that they sponsor us.
It's all good.
Sorry, I lied. It's
Dope.
What do we say? Perception.
Perception.
What the hell happened, man? What happened?
everything.
This dice is not being used
I
for
know you
anything.
freaked me out. It's like
12.
12.
Hey,
This
twins!
is continuing.
Yeah.
Said switch to 3 screens because it's only on you.
It's only on me. Wow.
No one wants to see your
What?
face all the time.
I mean, at least you just went through all the story with him.
Asshole.
Can you at least look at her?
Yeah, no, we need to get somebody to run this because I'll forget constantly.
Okay.
Either that or we're just going to leave it on the screen, one of the two.
Yeah.
Did you fix it or no?
Yeah, it's a quick
Okay.
transition. It's real easy.
Oh, okay.
One button. Because I have it set up in that aspect. But, where were we? Okay, so 12, 12's 10, 4, what'd you get? 10, and a 20. So you're the only one, I would say, Odette. As you're standing there, maybe it's the 4 points of contact that you have with the ground. Maybe it's the instinctual nature of the spirit of the horse. You get this tightening in your stomach as Yvette turns around to cut the ribbon. And it starts out as this low rumble.
Like coming from her.
Coming from somewhere.
I don't know exactly. It's just like I feel
it's
it.
a sensation that you
Okay.
get, washes over you. As she slices the ribbon up, you watch, and it's just a quick reaction where you cover Luca with as much of your body as you can. As the front wall of the orphanage explodes outward. Sends Yvette flying backwards. Bertram is impacted by one of the large stones. The crowd immediately shrieks and sinks back. What you see, where as the dust begins to settle, you watch this blackened hand, long 3-clawed fingers, reach out from inside
Says fucking dragon.
the. Well, maybe. Reach out from inside the orphanage. The hand reaching out, long fingers, probably 12 inches long, maybe longer.
creepy.
The first hand comes up, the second hand sinks into the rock, and as it does so, there's that nail on chalkboard sensation as the nails scrape across the stone.
Everybody
Itself,
Are we all in this?
You're
like,
all watching
oh
this
my
happen.
god!
You
I
watch.
just built that thing.
You watch hoisting itself from behind the broken rubble is a figure, roughly 15 feet tall, maybe from what you can tell. The blackened skin, almost like that of a raisin, but it looks hardened. It looks stone-like almost. And in the grooves between the high peaks of its skin, this broken electric blue color just kind of is emanating out of it. Its
Like
head,
goo?
more like light, more like an effervescent essence, or you can say. You watch as it begins to crawl up the wall. It seems to be able to hold itself onto this wall pretty well. The thing that strikes
Because
you
it's
most,
very nicely built.
very nicely built.
They're not high quality. That is
Two particular features that stick out to you. One, the ram's head that sits upon its shoulders, furless, skinless, meatless. It looks like it's bone. The eyes hollow. This same blue aura kind of leaking out and dissipating as it starts crawling up the wall. And the thing that really fucking gets you is the third arm that seems to be coming out of its hip, abdomen, its oblique area, and holding it tightly against its back. There is a dwarven child.
A dwarven child?
A dwarven child. The child is apparently unconscious. The ram looking out at you all just... And it jumps and leaps into the air and disappears.
Just disappears?
Just vanishes.
Guys, I would
With
say...
the child?
Yes, with the child. I would say you three, taking a quick peripheral look around based on your old rolls, you turn around and you see about 40 feet away from you, the creature is now moving across the top of another series of roofs. And it looks like it is trying to make its way towards the exit of the town. Make a history check for me, Gwannipoe.
Give me that nat 20.
Give me that nat 20.
No, thank
11.
Would you like an olive?
It's starting to sink in. It takes you a minute. You're pretty sure you've heard of this creature. You're pretty sure you know this creature. You're pretty sure this is the thing that was in that book. And based on what you two had talked about, based on what you three actually had talked about yesterday with your Tabaxi friend, you've heard of a creature that sounds like this. It is known for striking fear into the hearts of its enemies or its prey, and is incredibly good at disappearing and reappearing and disappearing and reappearing.
How many times does it disappear and reappear?
Nobody knows.
Good question.
Just want to make sure.
You honestly, you can ask them when you're ready. The crowd is screaming. There are guards rushing in. You can hear the heavy footfalls of their armor. People are shouting. People are crying. There's like this whole triage mess in front of the orphanage. What do you guys want to do?
You've already set up a triage?
Well, there's not an actual triage. It is like a triage mess. Like
that was a quick response.
No, there are people holding like broken human beings or
Okay.
broken humanoids.
Gotcha, okay.
And you can see there's blood spilled across the ground. There's bodies everywhere. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna grab Odette's face. Are you okay?
And I yell to her to get on my fucking back.
And then I grab Odette's face. Are you okay?
I slap Naboo's hand away and I do some cool like cowboy hop on top of Odette's back. And give her an old pat in the ass.
I'm gonna need you guys to all roll for initiative.
All of us?
Everybody roll for initiative.
Woo! Oh my god.
Oh god, what's my
That's
No, I rolled good.
I rolled
Okay.
well, so.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
can't. What did you do, man?
I got myself a young 15.
For initiative.
15. I like how they're all young.
They're always young.
They're always young.
So I turn to Phan real quick and I just mutter evil under my voice.
And do you you know what that is?
I shrug and I say, maybe.
Is it worth staying?
Initiative.
6.
20.
That's hot.
Second
You got
at
a
20.
15.
Damn, man.
Fam.
I need you to touch
I got
this dice.
I got a 20.
20.
Thank you.
27.
20. Jesus Christ.
I know, I roll well on this
Oh,
crap.
for anyone that doesn't know, we started out at level 5 because we're responsible and we don't like the boring levels.
22.
22, good lord.
That rolls shit.
Man, you guys are keeping it
Whatever
heavy.
you were good with here.
Let me prepare my good D20. I have to pull up. Give me 1 second to pull up the stats. Dude, I think I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think we need to start a little sooner on the prep work. So I'm gonna help with that.
What do you know?
Prep work next time, or we just need to know where everything goes the first time. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Zero session would help.
Almost like a zero session would have helped us. But we like to just run with it. Run with it. Alright. Alright. Top of the round is going to be Gwannipoe. What do you want to do?
Where are we?
Oh, yeah. Let's get you guys some spatial awareness.
Here's my center.
This is going to be now.
We should have erased
Why
that
not?
before we started, but that's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
You can make it work.
We'll be good. We'll be good. So we'll say you guys are
Does the DM camera kind of hit that?
not really no.
Do you want me to make it hit that?
Not really no.
Okay.
Nabu, you're here. Who is
Nebu.
this? Nebu.
Or Booney.
Booney.
Or
Booney. You have
You can call me whatever
you
you
have
like.
Luca.
That's Trump.
Luca.
You ever get free to that Trump?
Okay.
It's all
Oh yeah, blue hair. Give me the blue hair. Nope. That's not the right
that's
blue
not
hair. There you go.
That is technically
That
blue.
is technically blue.
Wow, that was
So you guys are
That was
huge.
Big creature.
Let's go one session. I feel like you can't do that.
That explosion.
I feel like you can't do that.
Yeah, no, you could.
Wait,
Could or
we're talking
couldn't?
about poop again?
No.
Yeah, we sure totally could.
Said no?
I mean, you could.
About
You
40
could, but
feet
like, it would be
to
hard to hold.
your right, and
Biggest
about
explosion.
I'll send you the link.
40 feet up, 50
One time
in some
I did
places.
That's it over there.
Sex penis.
The creature moving lithely across the top of these roofs.
no, no,
Shingles
no,
are
no.
falling off as it takes every step. You see in a quick second it kind of slips, and you see a shingle go flying out. One of the guardsmen has to raise a shield to block it. There's somebody from far away. You hear fire, and you see arrows kind of flying out. Not many of them, 4 or 5. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
How can I pull this closer a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
You want to give me the book?
Okay, so how far? It's really hard to see these.
What in the
Am I in
schnitzel
this?
was that?
What's in this?
Is this?
Is that your accent?
Okay,
This thing popped out of the wall and
I'm gonna move
this
right
thing
here.
was gone.
You're German again?
I say we take a few shots at it.
You're German again?
Hey, I'm here for this.
I am too.
Some of us didn't get the pleasure
Who
of
is-
hearing this before.
Who is the little man over there that's speaking to me? He seems to be a little annoying. I don't like this one. He's almost as annoying as you.
You're going to like me later, I
God
promise.
damn it.
Now that you have the book, you must fight alongside me. We will take shots at it.
I have.
I'm gonna
book,
fire a
right?
shot.
Book
I would
in
say
my possession.
yes. At this point,
Okay.
you have the book.
I'm gonna say, I gave you the book. Now you take shots at whatever this blue thing is. It's holding something on its back, and I want it.
If there's if you want. Oh god. Good
Okay.
luck.
Gwannipoe, what do you want to do?
I moved over here.
Okay. It's about 40 feet up. That's the
40
one
feet.
thing
Okay,
that we can't.
that will help me because I can't see the lines for crap right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so
Pillars. Little wooden pillars.
I don't know where those are at.
Chris, where are your wooden pillars at?
There's a couple back there.
Grab those for me.
Yep. There's a bunch in my. I'll go grab a bunch too. There might only be 1 or 2 back there.
We are the
I
best.
think I rolled that time.
You really can't get any better.
Oh no! It's gone. It's gone forever. It'll be gone forever. Can't eat it.
You're gonna poop out a D20.
Would be the worst.
Bam. Bam. This guy's out.
I'm not seeing
So's this. That guy's out.
Chris,
This
did you
guy's
use
holding
one
this
of
guy.
these? Okay.
This guy's just running scared.
I was so stressed with other shit today, I didn't even
forgot. Hey, look at that.
trees in there too.
Stuff.
The hair on my legs.
God.
Alright.
I hope one day we get to look back at today and be like, God, we were so
We were awful.
Not awful, just fun. This is like old video.
I'm
Should be
looking back
fun.
right
Should
now.
Look back at like the '90s films where
Oh,
you're
there
like,
you go, yeah.
this is fun.
I'm looking back right now and thinking, man,
how
we're
high
awful.
up is he then?
It's about 40 feet up.
40 feet up. Okay. So, being that this is the start of my turn in the first combat, my special dread ambusher is going to kick in.
Okay.
It's going to give me an extra attack, and I already have extra attack anyway, so this turn I'll get 3 attacks. I'm going to use my longbow of warning, which has 150 feet range. So I'm going to try for the first of my 3 attacks on that creature.
Okay.
What was this called?
18 to hit on the first one.
18. Does 18
No, we
hit?
don't know the name.
18 hits.
Okay, let me get my DA out.
Ooh, 18 hits.
Barely. That's what it sounds like.
God, Matthew, quit metagaming.
8 points of damage on the first hit.
Okay.
$15 to hit on the second one.
Okay. 15 misses.
Misses. Okay. And then let me look at the other one.
I want you to do me a favor too. Go ahead and roll damage for that hit.
Uh-oh.
Chicken shit.
You said 15 misses?
15 misses, yeah.
7.
All right. I want you to roll d6.
Okay.
On a 4, you hit the kid.
What's that?
On a 4, you hit the kid.
Only a 4.
Oh!
No, not the sleeping kid.
1. Miss it. Okay. good.
Oh, that would have been so bad. What?
That would have been so sad.
Only a 4 would have hit? Or like a 4 or greater?
No, only a 4.
Okay.
It's a small. So this
thing's
creature
using it as a meat shield. He's like,
every time it turns its back, the child is like pinned to its back with the arm that's coming out of its side, like holding it by the kid's chest. It's a small kid. It's a small dwarven child, no more than 3-4 feet tall.
Carrying it, or is it just kind of
It's like
attached
third
to it?
arm. It's a
His
third
third
arm
arm is
coming
like
out,
wrapping
that's
the
like
kid.
and it's like
for
holding
it,
it to its
isn't
back.
it?
It's almost like if you were carrying a child like to your chest like this, but
But it is aware of
on
the
back.
child and purposely
it is
carrying
purposefully carrying the child.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to try
the,
for the third attack.
Go for it.
18 again to hit.
18 hits.
And this is the one where I get extra damage on it. Wait. No. Right? Hold on. Let me look at that.
Is this for
Oh, yeah.
Hunter's Mark or?
No, this is Dread Ambusher.
Dread Ambusher. Okay.
Who's on deck?
So...
Who's on deck?
4.
On deck is going to be Nebuntash. Nebuntash.
Boom.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Okay.
Yep. And then, since this is my Dread Ambusher attack for this one, I get 40 feet of movement. I just did 30, so I'm just going to step back for 10.
Okay. No worries. You running forward are like, oh shit, I know this thing in your head because you can't speak out loud that well. And you pull out 3 arrows. 1, 2, 3. The third arrow, or the second arrow, as it's flying up, you have this moment of panic of like, oh fuck, I forgot about the kid. At just the last second, the creature seems to like turn and slap the arrow out of the air with its elbow. The other 2, one in the hip, one in the chest. It kind of reacts quietly. It seems more intent on leaving this scenario than it is on who's shooting at it.
Okay.
Next is going to be Nebuntash.
Okay, I'm going to move behind Odette, and I'm going to use her as like a shield.
Okay.
And
I swear if you roll a 1 and hit me in the ass, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I will be pissed.
and so am I within 120 feet?
I'd say you are, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I'm going to fire.
Probably pushing the range. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell with these lines. Who bought these maps?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Just kidding.
Sorry
It was
for
a
my
joke.
contribution.
It was a joke.
I
It was a joke.
apologize.
It was a joke.
Can we get past this?
Yeah.
I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast right at its face.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for attack.
And I get 2 blasts. That is a 20-something. It hits.
Yes.
Not a nat 20, though. You want to roll for damage first?
Go ahead and roll for the second attack. Then you can...
That is 6 plus 8. 14.
14 misses. Go ahead and roll a d6 and roll damage for both.
It's a 5.
Misses.
Damage for both?
Yeah, just go ahead and roll damage for the first one then.
The first. Okay, so
We're gonna hit that kid.
10 plus 4. That is 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. You, running up behind Odette, you grab on her haunch, and there's this moment of like, and you just launch 2 Eldritch Blasts out of your hand. The first one, squarely right in the jaw, and you watch as the energy kind of splashes across, and it looks, you're used to it looking a lot more painful when your shit hits. But as it impacts, you watch the energy kind of dissipate over its face, the second shot go flying right over its shoulder. Anything else you want to do?
I'm just going to stay there, and I'm going to focus on the horse ass.
Okay, perfect. It's round, rotund, juicy.
Oh, God.
Odette, you're up.
Alright, well, my range attacks are 5 feet, so can you just move me about 50 feet closer?
About 50 feet closer?
Yeah, 50 feet.
Don't leave me, love.
You are on my back. Is she on?
Bam. Yeah.
She's on my back.
Okay.
Yep, you guys said it earlier.
It's the warlock strip
comes with
slips
you.
from her ass.
Yeah, your fingers.
I just reach out, no.
the beautiful Arabian body of this horse just gracefully slips away under your fingers, and you're like, God, I miss it. It's weird.
I know, it's great.
Anything else you want to do?
No, that's it.
Okay. Next is going to be Phan.
What did you roll? What'd you roll?
He rolled a 20.
She's
rolled
got a
really
higher
high.
dex.
I got a 9.
So,
Somebody rolled a 20 but me. It's gonna be a good night.
Okay, we rolled it where it doesn't count.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, the one time in that 20 doesn't count for shit.
We all fucking boom, boom, boom. Now.
Go and spend them. Phan, what are you doing?
I am going to look at Gwannipoe and tap him with my staff and just say, please, mass gives you the strength of a bear. Enjoy this. And you now have advantage on constitution checks and a 2d6 temporary hit points. So we can roll that real quick.
Go ahead and burn that spell slot. Goody.
You got 5 temporary hit points.
Alright.
Anything else you want to do?
And then I am going to. I moved to Gwannipoe to do that.
You
I'm
guys
gonna,
are pretty much right next to each other.
I'm gonna sit there.
Okay. At this point, the townsfolk are moving. There's a bugbear right in front of you two that's kind of like shaking itself off. You watch as rubble just kind of falls out of its fur. It pulls out its axe. You do what you got out, right? And he just hucks the axe as hard as he can. He's going to make an attack against the creature.
Is this the bugbear from yesterday? Do we recognize him?
No, not the bugbear from yesterday, no. He misses pretty bad. Let's see if he hits the kid. Misses the kid too. The axe just goes flying. Maybe not so good.
Appreciate your effort.
The other townsfolk are starting to drag the injured and the unconscious and potentially deceased. You see there's a turtle whose shell is now cracked, and you can see there's some sort of viscera leaking out of it. There is an elderly man currently being dragged by a dwarf, pretty much just by the collar. The dwarf looks dusty and a little bloody, but overall unhurt, pretty stout, as he's just kind of unceremoniously dragging this person behind him. And people are just trying to get out of the city, or out of this area, as guards are kind of swooping in from different areas.
And then a fly comes in.
Fly on the fucking table. Massive fly lands.
Oh
And
my
you
god,
guys
it's the
have
size
second
of
It's a small
Gwannipoe.
dog, dude. Next up is going.
Don't do it.
Oh, you did it! It happened.
Dude.
It was there. I
Wash
witnessed
your
it.
hands.
That's how
Connak.
you get COVID.
That is how you get COVID. Oh my god, it's still light outside. I forgot about that. Forgot about the sun. Connak, go for it.
Okay, you're mine. Go ahead.
I have seen the bugs and the animals of your size before. I will kill you. And I'm gonna take my bow. And I'm going to fire 2 shots. With Hunter's Mark, Planar Warrior, I got 27 and 21.
Yep.
Alright,
Both
so
will
both. Alright, so this is gonna be. Give me 1 second. I just gotta look up what Planar Warrior is.
Don't forget to
It's
eat.
going to be 1 creature, 1
I said don't forget to eat, Mike.
Oh, there's no chance of that. 0 chances of that.
Halftime.
Maybe. We'll see. How long have we been going for? We're gonna have to get rid of this stuff.
About
I
40,
can't even tell.
well, about 50 minutes.
7:40
Oh, okay.
right now.
Yeah,
It's 7:40 and we've been going for 50 minutes. Lame.
Why?
Well, I would hope that we start. You know,
we had a long
6:30.
intro. It's our
Somebody
first-
was
That's true.
pretty
Well,
slow.
we only started
Wordy.
6 minutes late.
Yeah.
Remember
Really?
13.
It was, yeah.
Number 13.
Preamble.
Hopefully it'll be quicker next time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Gotta learn somehow.
Zoe, is that really appropriate?
I have goodness on my shirt. I have to lick it off. I
And
don't let it go to
It's
waste.
her blood.
You have to lick your sad boy's tears.
I like the food off my shirt.
13.
Right!
31, you're good. You don't have to remember it anymore.
Who's on deck?
I hit this thing for 36 points of damage.
36 points, that's not bad.
Oh!
Wow, 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 wow.
You watching this small feathered creature that you've been hanging out with for the last couple days. You
That's what I was like.
love showing them up, and you draw out 2 arrows same time. You lean down and forward, and you anticipating where it's going to go. You put a great lead on it, and both hit right in its thigh. Trying to see if you can incapacitate it, maybe move a little bit slower. As the arrows sink in, it seems completely unfazed.
Great.
It is focused,
Cool.
And
Focused on what?
escaping from what. Well, make an insight check. We'll see.
What I want you to do is use the bow bird sing, Jesus Christ.
Who is this Jesus Christ?
My turn.
Yeah, from best you can tell, it doesn't seem to have a particular target. It just seems like it is trying to move away from this situation.
Okay.
The Yagigama's turn. It is going to take its full movement, which
Oh, that thing's
is,
called a Yagigama?
Yeah.
On it.
Okay, you ready for this one? There's about a 30-foot gap. Ooh, hey camera, what's up camera? There's about a 30-foot gap between these two buildings. This is a narrow channel of, what are we talking about? What do we call those things? It's a street. It's a
Alley.
street. An alley. Let's call it an alley. It's about a 30-foot alley between the buildings. You watch as the creature jumps, and from all points of physics that you guys know, it should fall, and it doesn't. It just kind of leaps outward, its limbs trailing behind it. It lands on the other building and takes about 20 feet to the other side. It ends up behind, outside of your guys' visual acuity. And you hear this thunderous as a lightning bolt from seemingly out of nowhere smashes into one of the buildings. The chimney on that building starts to collapse, and you hear some screams, and there's now a bell tower going off in the background. Boom, boom, boom. And you guys have lost sight of the creature.
Did we just lose sight or did it disappear again? Okay.
Next up is going to be Luca.
Luca would like to go ahead and cast
Can we see? No, nobody can see. I am just super fuzzy. Sorry.
clairvoyance. It's an invisible sensor.
Mm-hmm.
It can go up to 1 mile.
Okay.
Holy crap.
I want it to be able to see,
Okay.
and I would like for it to go to its last known location.
Okay.
And I would like to be able to see if anything populates.
Okay. So you focus for a second, and there's a shift in the color pattern of your arm as you release the spell. You're auburn right now, like a bronze color.
No, I'm pale.
Pale.
Gray.
Okay. Always? You don't want to like.
Well, I haven't
We'll get into
done
that.
anything yet.
As the colors, like this almost prismatic change in your arm, it goes from shifts from like blue to pink to yellow, back into green, and then it fades back into the gray. The spell releases, and your eyes cloud over as this magical orb coalesces on top of the roof. You can see from where it's at. Go ahead and make a perception check.
22.
There's a massive burn hole right, probably about 5 feet in front of you. It looks like this is the spot where the lightning struck. And glancing around, you don't see anything. And just as you're like sitting there going like fuck, you see movement in the distance. On the cliffside, there's about a 400-foot cliff that Goodfellow is kind of tucked underneath. It provides a lot of natural protection. Nobody can really shoot down from it. It's considered extremely dangerous to be on the top side of that cliff. You look and you can see, holding on to one of the rocks and staring out over the city, the creature just lingers for a second.
Like a mile away.
What?
It's about 80 feet up from where.
What direction is that? Is that northwest? What?
It would be, west by southwest.
Still visible or only visible to her?
from where you guys are at, the buildings would obscure its current position.
So she's on my back.
So I yell, Odette, 80 feet northwest now.
Is that how we would do it if she's on my back?
Yeah, I would allow that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well I think can I be on her back and do it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind.
Well, I didn't know if her movement would cause me
So
to
I would say you have 0 movement if you wanted to stay on her back, but she could still, in theory, steal your total movement and then use her movement to go for. You guys can like ladder that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh right, because I would like to right now my eyes are clouded.
Wherever she moves, you're going with her because you're effectively riding a horse.
Yeah, so then what I would like to do then is keep my, because it lasts for about 10 minutes with my concentration.
Okay.
I would like to keep my eyes clouded and just like keep my eye on the orb locked onto the thing and watch it.
Yeah, easy enough.
Cool.
All right, top of the round. Gwannipoe.
Gwannipoe just kind of looks around and looks at Phan and goes, and doesn't know what to do. He has no idea where it went. Kind of taking a peek around, looking around, and just kind of stands there, not really sure how he should respond at this moment.
Okay.
So.
Perfect.
I did yell.
Nebuntash.
I don't know you though.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic and see if I can sense him anywhere in the immediate area.
Detect Magic only has a 30-foot range.
Well, I don't know where he is.
That's fair.
So he could be right behind me.
Go ahead and burn the spell slot.
It's cast at will, sir.
Ooh. Yeah. I forgot about that one. That was hard.
Spell slot.
You
focus. What you think this is?
You kind of reach
What you think this is?
your chest and feeling like just the presence of the body that gives you power. You grip your staff a little bit tighter, and your eyes kind of get this silvery film to them. As the film washes over your vision, you see everything around you in a slightly different light, and you start noticing auras on predominantly the 2 that you've been hanging out with and 3 others in the crowd that seem to have magical items on them. But outside of that, you don't really make out much magical essence. Okay. Anything else you want to do?
I'm going to move in closer to be with the group and stare at the horse's ass.
Okay. Horse's ass is mighty fine. Right there, good? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. All right.
And that'll have my turn.
Odette.
Where did you tell me to go?
80 feet northwest.
I'm going 80 feet northwest. Is that this way?
It would be roughly towards Hunter.
Okay.
So you can make it, there's a building right there. What you would have to do is kind of skirt down another side alley. There's several options. There's one that's only about 20 feet away from you, and it looks like there's another 40 feet away from you. There's a building in between them.
Okay.
And they're small, narrow side alleys.
Like this, I'd go this way? Okay.
Yeah, forgive me for not having, the map cam. We're working on getting the map cam set up. We just wanted to get going today.
We're coming for you!
Okay. You make it about 80 feet down, and as you kind of come skidding down the alley, did you go for the first one or the second one? There was two side alleys you could go
The first one.
Okay. So the first one you see, it looks like it makes it to the other side. There's a small fence, and charging, you're just full sprinting. Your back end kind of hits the building as you come swinging around the corner.
That's right.
Easy enough, just looking at it, you're like, I got this, and you manage to leap, and then we'll get to you on your next turn.
I'm a training horse.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Oh, you're beautiful and majestic.
Next up is going to be Phan.
Watching a horse lady run out in front of me.
Centaur.
Yeah, horse lady. I am going to look at Gwannipoe and just say, you want up on top of my shoulders?
Gwannipoe just kind of looks at you.
I'm just going to pick him up, put him on my shoulders. I'm going to use my action and my movement to follow the 2 strange things I just saw.
Okay. What's your speed?
30.
So you don't quite make it to the alley, but you know where you saw them turn last, and you're pretty confident that it was this one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need a move?
At this point,
I guess.
well, actually, I'll let you have your turn.
How far away is it?
You can't see it from where you're at.
What if I moved where they were? I could.
What's your speed?
I think it's 30 feet. It's normal, right?
Don't tell
First
anybody
room.
about the book.
This is terrible.
You want to talk
Features and
just a little
traits.
bit.
This new app kills me. It's usually underneath my abilities and saves, but it's not there. Where would it be? Actions?
Features and traits, right? D&D on features and traits.
D&D.
We cannot. You want to get shut down real quick? Start singing their songs, man. Start singing their songs.
Whose song?
I don't know. I've never heard of. We are the most original people,
What
and we
timeline
have
are you talking
never ever heard of another community that does any kind of online streaming
Only
for
1,000.
in-person D&D.
I can move 30 feet, so I'm gonna move my 30 feet towards the alley
Okay.
where they had vision of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna fire at it. And I still have my hunter's mark, which says that I have a mystical query on it, so I should be able to see it.
Okay. So
Right, or I
you
should be able to
can
have-
feel it. You can sense it, but you do not have a line of sight on it. You know how far is it? How far is the mystical quarry?
It just says it goes around it. It just said that's hunter's mark. Like it shows,
I
like
see.
it's like a mark. It's like a mark of a beast.
Yeah. Okay. I would say that you know that the direction they're running is the right direction to chase it, but you still, based on the height of the buildings and where it's at on the cliff face, you can tell it's starting. That was not a dab. His hand stays back here. You know it's on the cliff face.
Keep those fingers down.
But
too.
you're not quite.
No.
Yeah, that's way over.
No.
Two hands, Mike. 2 hands.
They can see
Do this.
all.
Put it on your hip. Put it on your hip.
All the way back there.
Put it on your hip.
Wow. Where are we going with that? You know it's on the cliff face. You can't see it. It's about 80, 200 feet, 150 somewhere. It's nearby, but it's running. It's retreating as fast as it can.
So you're saying it's within range, or it's not? I can see it,
Yes,
or I
you
can.
cannot
I can
see
see it,
it.
or I can't.
It's within range of your hunter's mark, but you can't see it. You would have to spend more speed to try and get a line of sight on it.
If I run down the alley, is there more sight on it?
You would have to dash. You'd have to use your action to dash to get to the
How
alley.
far do I have to run?
It's about 30 feet away from you. They're only about 10 to 15 feet in front of you. And they're only 10 to 15 feet away from
So
the alley.
I use like 15. So I guess I'll
If
just
you
use the
use
rest
your
of my
dash,
movement
you could
speed.
get to Odette's behind.
Okay.
What a lovely behind it.
I'm here. Are you sure? You can get all the way there.
Yeah. I did really bad job of preparing the map for this. So
Yeah.
Oh, quality. No one can see this. Quality.
it looks great. Yeah.
I see the fake bricks. They look good.
The minis are incredible.
Yeah.
Perfectly painted, every single one of them. Actually, they are really
They
well
are
painted.
actually really good.
Thank you. Mine took a long time.
Yeah, I like yours a lot, dude. It
Yeah,
looks
the best one.
mystical.
Easily.
The shadow mini.
Okay, at this point, does anyone have anything that they can do to trap or stop it from running?
How far away is it from us?
It's about, I would say from you, it's 100 feet, maybe 110.
How far from
you
you?
guys, it's probably 90 for the distance that it's up the cliff face, plus the distance that you have to reach to get to the base of the cliff.
Hold on. Let me see.
Around you down.
I mean, I only had stunning strike, but I had to hit it first with the melee weapon.
You gotta
I can't.
hit it first with the money.
So, if anybody has anything, now's the time to speak up.
I need to see if the thorns actually stop
You
it, or
hear a series of thunder cracks. And from where you three are at, you can see it just blinking up, and it's climbing as fast as it can, and it blinks, and makes its way to the top of the cliff. It turns around at the top and staring down at you guys. It's just this tiny little figure, and from this distance, it almost looks harmless. But she okay?
Should have cable. Should have cable right underneath it.
I don't think that's any better.
No, I got a cable over there.
Come on, we're gonna lose that.
Just cleaning her feet. Just cleaning her feet.
Baleful mournful, long drawn out call. This
I don't want to be calling it.
and it vanishes. You can it's pretty exciting.
We need to save the kid!
There is bells.
Let the kid!
Doom, doom, doom.
There's
You
still
hear
people injured around.
There are definitely
I'm
lots
gonna
of people
go and
in
spare the dying everywhere I can.
Okay.
Can I-
you start.
Yeah, I want to utilize my orb and have it go to like the last known point.
Okay, so you moving up to the top of the cliff face, we'll get to that in a second.
Cool.
You're running around and you're looking, there are people with open fractures. There's blood all over the cobblestone fairway around you.
Anyone who looks like they're in particular danger.
Absolutely.
Straight up.
At this point, there are some guardsmen who look less war-equipped and more civil servant, and they are starting to grab people and set up that triage. And as you come running by, you're just—it's literally like a running slap across all their knees, just. Their conditions stabilize, and although some people look at you with this treat the dead with respect, there's some others who look, like they recognize the spell that you're casting. That are like,
I'm just trying to help, that's all.
As you're running, there's this pang in your left shoulder, and you get just this sense of guilt as the pain just kind of runs through your arm. But
That's odd.
you recognize it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I just kind of go, ow, stop it, you son. Never mind. Going on.
Anybody else? What do you want to do? Oh, the top of the cliff. So from the cliff face, you see that the hill that is overlooking this area is very rocky. It has a lot of vertical faces. Looking down behind it, you can see why this area is known for its mining. There are large boulders that are all glinting with different colors of the rainbow, kind of indicating that there are rare earth materials here. Some gems, some metals, lots of valuables. Make a perception check again for me. Are you pumping bardic inspiration?
I'm
into
doing
that?
some bardic inspiration on that real quick.
Make sure you vocalize that, because some people
Oh,
are gonna
yes,
be like,
sorry.
"What the fuck?"
I say that I'm a beautiful goddess that can control anything I want, and I inspire myself.
Yeah, do a nice little flurry dance on the back of it.
Okay. So 14.
14. Looking around, you take as you can feel Odette moving through the streets. Are you still trying to chase after her up and around, anything like that? So you feel Odette is still moving, and you guys watch as this horse lady just takes off into God knows where. It seems to be running. Whether it's being rocked like this in your physical body, or whether this creature is actively trying to use some sort of camouflage, or maybe you're just not looking in the right spot, but you don't seem to find it.
Okay. I say, my love, please stop.
Stopped. No, I don't make horse noises.
I'm gonna get you 2 coconuts, and I expect you to use
Yes.
How did I get coconuts over here?
swallows. You know that's answered like right early in the movie.
Swallows.
There's like a dude like tying coconuts to 2 swallows' feet, like right in the beginning of the movie.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
It's right in the opening scenes.
Oh, I have to rewatch it then.
It's either that or it's the one where they're going to the town and he's like, I got turned into a newt. I've got. You know that scene?
Yeah.
It's either there or it's the beginning of the movie. It's one of the second.
I would have liked to have been in pursuit of the 2 weird-looking people dancing on top of each other.
Easy enough. They're moving faster.
How am I positioned on him?
You're pretty much just sitting on his shoulder,
Okay.
like a child
It's just
at a
a
fair.
dude.
So I just kind of pat your head and say, hup, hup.
Yes.
I've seemed to have lost it. It's gone. I don't know where it is. We might as well
Sure.
stop.
as you guys stop, you hear from behind you this pounding, and you turn and look, and there is a Luxodon. It's massive tusks, a kind of mix of yellow and ivory. It looks like this is a weathered creature, young, not too long in the tooth, but these tusks look like they are exposed to sunlight constantly. Dirt. It's kind of this disheveled look to it. A large hat on top of its head, and on its shoulders there is a black bundle of feathers, and that just keeps like patting the top of the hat as it runs.
I take out my whip of warning and turn, like, I kind of position myself to the back of Odette, and I whip and I say, "Stay away!"
And I just
What are you guys doing out here?
I'm gonna pull out the book and I'm gonna open it real quick. Do I have any feels when
it's a gut feeling. It's not like anything that you can say. It's not
Before,
like
as soon as
you
he
get
pulls
the
out the
TV
book,
dreams.
I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Hey, you put the book back into the satchel. We did not come here to talk to these strangers. We fight when we need to together.
I'll put the book back in the satchel.
She has just drawn the weapon on you. What if she steals the things you are looking for? You said you would help me. I am here to help you.
I'm hoping that y'all can help me.
I already told you that I can help you. But we do not help people that draw weapons.
Dude, why are you chasing that thing?
Why are you chasing that thing?
I'm chasing you guys.
Again, I whip my whip in front of his feet.
I really mean no harm.
At the hearing of the whip, I know that sound well.
A little jolt of excitement runs through. You're like,
I saw one
yes!
going over that way too.
Yes.
Odette! Luca!
Don't be afraid of the little woman with the whip. She is
no
fear,
harmless. Just respect.
None
You'll
of
learn it.
Neither of
You'll learn
these two even attacked when all of the stuff went down.
I like to take my whip and just like aim for but just I don't want to hit him, but I want to aim for his private parts with my whip.
Okay.
Who are you doing?
I recognize that.
Oh god.
She's done that before.
To the German fellow.
Listen, you can even if you hit me, I have no feelings. So you can try this.
So as you cock your whip back, you start to snap it forward, and it goes taut in your hand. It doesn't move forward, and turning around, you guys, anyone that's looking at them, you two are pretty much the only ones that don't see this. There is a lumbering, massive, scarred female Goliath standing behind you two with it's a familiar pleated green accoutrement. It's almost like a skirt, but it's more like, like how Spartans and Greeks used to wear like their battle skirts.
Yeah.
It's not a skirt, it's a kilt.
It's not a kilt though. That's
Okay, got it.
Scottish. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it's called. I need Chip here for this.
It's a cloth.
It's a cloth.
Loincloth.
With all sorts of there's a pouch. There's an axe dangling off the hip.
My whip does, in a 30 feet radius, warn me if something is if something's around me.
I have that too.
Okay, so you would have, as you cock it backwards, felt something rushing up behind you. It grabs the whip. The Goliath kind of lets it go. It wasn't so much to steal it from you or anything like that. It was just to stop the attack from happening. And she walks out. What are you doing here? You are suspects, yes? No? What is going on here? And I would say that you, having spent some time here, recognize this as Christy Mactus, who is the captain of the watch, the head of the city watch.
We were.
Put your weapons down. Yes? You will obey?
I don't
No?
have a weapon out.
You can have my weapon, and I throw it at her. The blue things that crawled up the mountain,
What?
destroyed the orphanage. We tried to shoot it, but the thing can disappear, teleport, whatever you want to call it. It's some bullshit. Then this one pulls out the whip and thinks that she's going to be Miss Tough Guy. We don't know each other, but we were trying to fight for the same cause.
Yes, I am going to need you all to come with me, yes?
Yes,
You are
but
going to come with me.
But Hey,
And
hey,
she
what you
kind
can
of,
do
like,
is take
raises
my
her hand.
bow because it's kind of heavy. I don't need this right now. Please, take all the weight. Since you are so nice and want to take all the weapons, here you go. You can take all my weight while we walk. Let's go.
3 on this one. Yes. Yes. 3 on this one. Yes.
Have I made it
Why
to
do
the
we
group
want to
yet?
go with
Yeah,
you?
I would say everybody. You watch as guards
Oh.
start moving their way up. It looks like, based on what you know of the city, there's like a compound or a barracks that blockades the whole front physical dirt passage up to the ocean line and up to the cliff line. This area is where all of the City Watch stays. You know that they are in some way, shape, or form using slaves. You're not sure how, but you know that the slaves are part of the City Watch in some manner. And that seems to be, looking around at the nature of these watchmen, they look a little bit thinner, a little bit more disheveled, but they're all wielding weapons, and they all kind of draw out, different short swords, bows, and they kind of encircle you. One of them goes around and starts collecting up the weapons and distributing them to a couple others to carry. What was your question?
I'm not a part of this.
You can go back and ask, and I was healing everyone.
Don't.
You said you
Why
caught
are
up
you
with
even
them.
trying to talk
healing
to
everyone there.
You're not going to get
Oh,
through.
I see.
You're not going to get through to these people. Give them your weapons. Let them carry your weight.
No, I was very
Yes,
lovely.
you are
A few of
welcome
these
with me.
ones look a little skinny. They need a little bit of
Everybody,
muscle on the bone.
If you
Let's
want to
do
go
it.
to jail,
They
I just
start-
went there. I'm done with it.
They start pressing you guys
Not as fun as I
together.
thought it
While
would be.
everyone is
Funnel
arguing,
you.
I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on me and Phan.
Okay. 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 Go ahead and burn the spell slot. You guys start moving your way back towards the orphanage. It's a different route. You guys don't move down the alley, and basically, you're surrounded by roughly 25 to 30 guards. And they're walking you in a tight formation, 2 by 3, back to the location. The cityscape that you've seen so far, there's rubble everywhere, blood on the ground. The folks that you stabilized, some of them seem to be coming to. It looks like there are healers in the area that are either purposefully stationed here, or they were just good Samaritans like you. And some of the folks that you saved are being revived.
Are there any people that are alive?
Please,
Near
can
us
you
on
vouch
our
for
walk
me?
that are needing heals? Because I have my staff.
You're pretty much
Okay.
boxed in.
I already
guards.
saved them all,
Okay.
anyways, before I moved on.
Yeah, I would say you probably got 10 of them.
Please, can someone vouch for me? I've done nothing wrong here.
Hold your tongue. Yes, you will hold your tongue, and then we will get to this. Where is and she's looking for. Where is Bertram? Bertram, has anyone seen? And she kind of points at one of the guards. Lieutenant Bertram, where is he? The
Is
lieutenant-
anybody looking at me?
I mean, there are people behind you. There are guards behind you. Nobody's actively
Can I cast
I
disguise
don't-
self and turn myself into Bertram?
Yeah, go for it.
That's at will.
Go for it.
Well, we saw Bertram, right? He was giving the speech,
Yeah.
right?
He was the
Yeah.
one giving the speech. He was
Alright,
the
so
one that gave
I'm
the
gonna.
long.
Do I need to roll for something?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, then I
You
turn
can
into
disguise
Bertram.
yourself according to the rules of the spell, and anyone that you've seen
I
before.
can cast it at
It has
will.
roughly the same shape as you. It
Yep.
has the same number of limbs.
Yep.
So you look like Bertram. That same wispy smokiness seems to
He's
follow
the
you.
Genasi, right?
Yeah, and the hair just kind of billowing out beside you.
Hello, I'm here.
And you see the lieutenant is like, my lady, there are 2 Bertrams right now.
That one is the
There's,
imposter.
And you see the, what's her, God, I can't remember any of these people's names because I'm so
Christy?
pumped up. Chrissy,
Didn't Bertram die in the explosion?
you saved him.
I didn't say Bertram. I
And
never said I
somebody-
saved Bertram.
Yeah.
He's still unconscious.
I
I stabilized him.
True, and there are healers bringing people back. So, Bertram getting up, you can see he's got his arm in a sling. It's not like he went back to full health, but you see his arm is in a sling. It's makeshift. It looks like it's torn from his robes, and he kind of steps forward. That's
I don't even
quite
lie
the
to him. I'm Bertram.
all right.
Don't listen to him.
Oh,
He's a liar.
Katie, what do you know of the beast? And Katie kind of leaning forward. Katie, right? I'm not fucked up.
Well, unlike
Chrissy.
you, I fought it.
Chrissy. Chrissy, leaning out. We know of no beast. All we know is these trespassers, these non-citizens. We saw them running and fighting and causing commotion, and you see at this point she's like taking in the carnage in front of her for the first time, and her jaw just falls open. Bertram, looking around, is like, I know that one and that one.
I
Those
dropped my
two are
disguise.
fine. Nifty, to say the least.
I was trying to get away. They were going to arrest me. I did nothing but help. I actually
friend.
saved you.
Please. I
Ask
understand.
anyone.
I understand.
Bertram.
It was great. It was
These are
huge.
your friends, I'm assuming.
I didn't see him save anybody.
My friends
And I
are the
don't
horse
know.
lady and the
Oh, yeah.
one who worships the horse.
This is
No,
not the
don't do
person
that.
you're
Don't
looking
do
for,
that.
Chrissy.
No, we're friends. Don't do that. Don't do
She's a
that.
fucking
No, we are friends. We have been in company for many hours. I've heard things you can't even imagine.
So Bertram,
They didn't have a saddle.
Give me my weapon back. We are not enemies. Let's go. Give me my stuff back. Thank you
the
for traveling
creature
with
seems
us.
to be
Chrissy just
going
kind of-
northwest.
Creature. You saw this creature.
Yes, on the hill, 80 feet
What could
northwest.
you see of it?
Had a child.
Is anyone?
Had
Child.
a ram on its shoulder. A ram head.
A ram.
Its head was a
We saw everything. We attacked it. We tried to save the town.
Go get
It
the
had
chair.
a third arm that was holding a little dwarf baby on
Chrissy, it
its back.
seems like our
We almost hit it.
worst fears have come to fruition. Call the council. You 6, do not leave the city. And he kind of
Why?
turns.
Why?
Are you asking why?
Yeah.
You'll be needed for interrogation, but not in.
Surely you mean to be lauded as heroes, right?
That remains to be seen.
I would like to persuade in a certain type of way. Wouldn't you find our skill set more necessary to go after said creature?
Make a persuasion check.
So under my breath say, thank God I fucking attacked it and used arrows on it.
Just gonna look up at Gwannipoe and be like, ain't this the weirdest shit we've seen?
And I just repeat, weird as shit.
Weird.
16.
Okay. Whether it's the explosion that he's recently recovered from, he seems remotely. He recognizes what you're trying to do, but doesn't take the bait. Do not worry, you will not be tried as criminals. We simply need information from you. Go on your way, find some rest. Meet us at the city center in 2 hours. Chrissy. And he kind of nods, and she starts following and starts barking orders at the different guardsmen that are around.
Can we have our weapons?
There's a lower-ranking official that seems to be passing them back out to you guys.
I touch his face
He
and look at
hands
him.
he hands you this rod that you are very unfamiliar with. You end up with a whip. You have 2 bows now. It's pretty big.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna throw
go
something
and
as
grab
far
my
as I
rod.
can down. I'm going to grab my bow.
I grabbed
I'm
my
also
rod
going
and
to
say,
look
no one
at
holds
him
my
and pull
rod
him
but
to the
me.
side. I'm going to pull my friend to the side, and I'm going to say, give me the book now, they will take it. And if you want that book, and you want to actually understand what's in it, you will give it to me, for I have a place that I can hide it where nobody will touch it. Believe me.
And with Gwannipoe on my shoulders, I'm gonna lean in and just say, I'm sorry, I don't have it. And I'm just gonna sit back up straight.
I'm going to say, no sweat off my back. When you can't finish your job, that will be on you.
Noticing
I drop
now,
the rod nastily and I grab my whip.
why are you so disgusted by me?
I'm going to do can I do a perception
Oh, it's
check
bigger
to see if
than
I
that.
actually-
Don't-
What I know where he put
It's
the
a
book.
hefty
Make
handful
a
and
make a
links.
deception check. Make an insight check.
What's that?
How dare you
You're not
assert
funny?
that I have a thin rod? No, you know.
No.
Perception.
2.
No.
I'm bullshitting you.
Insight.
I already won.
Yeah,
It's 2.
I
beat it.
lied
Talked
to you. It's on me. I just wanted you to.
You see
shut up.
straight through the bullshit.
What's my stealth check?
You'd be looking for sleight of hand to try and get it off. of him.
What's sleight of hand?
In which
That's
you
like
have to
you
go
guys-
against my perception.
As you guys are standing here, like it is kind of hard to focus on the Lexodon and the bird as they're sitting together. You guys find it hard. It's like your eyes just can't actually come into focus. It's like a camera that's constantly trying to autofocus on these two. It's giving you kind of a headache.
I would like to go up to Lexodon while he's chatting and be like, big tusk, big horn. And I see how tall is he?
Are you still on Odette?
I'm
I
8.
know.
I'm about 8 feet tall.
8 feet.
This sounds like a perfect opportunity, since we're all standing in the same area, to describe what you look like.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Let's hit it back. Same
Yeah,
from
what
the
the
start.
fuck do you
I-
look like?
I look. Give me a second.
Alright, while she does that, I'm throwing a sleight of hand and I'm going to try to steal this book.
Which pocket? I got 3.
3? That's the max number you got.
I got
3
11.
pockets.
Such
I got
fucking
11.
good roll.
I said it right here. man. I said it
23.
here. Wow.
Which pocket you go for?
As this changeling
Not even gonna let me
is
perception.
kind of
check
like
this.
looking up
Come
and
on.
around, your passive perception is way too low.
Ah.
Because you're now engaged with her. And
again, am I?
Do I notice anything as I'm sitting on him? I'm just kind of
your
looking around
passive
him.
perception.
A literal bird's eye view.
I don't think yours is. What is your passive perception? I don't think anybody's above 23.
Okay. No.
No. I'm a 19 now.
Yeah, I think you have the highest.
Damn.
Plus 7.
That's
Wait,
pretty
what's
damn.
As you're
She has
watching
plus
them
7
engage,
perception.
you're like bumping into each other. It's passive perception that you're looking for.
It's different
Oh,
because
it's
I have a
different.
plus.
Different.
Yeah, I have a high perception.
So do I see him doing it when I look at him?
No.
I don't see him.
You're watching. He kind of like every now and then he looks like he's kind of wobbling, a little bit, and every now and then like he drops something and he'll bend over and pick it up. And there's like these moments where you swear he's doing something, but you're just too engaged in this.
And I have advantage
Conversation.
on my perception checks when it comes to.
Her passive perception 17.
You got a 23 though.
23.
Oh, so
Hard
it's
to beat,
higher than a 23 though? You don't roll for them?
Apparently not.
And after about 5 minutes through their conversation, you
I just texted you.
feel a leather object in one of his pockets. You pull it out and you can see it's the book that you're looking for. Oh,
Just to get into my pocket, you're gonna be on your tiptoes, like
cool.
filing.
Dope. Describe your character.
I am a 5'1", a sexy 135-pound, kind of slender, very like pale-skinned looking humanoid woman. I have long white hair, and my eyes are white.
You didn't lose anything, did you? She looked tripping.
Almost
think
looking
so. I
like
think
I'm
we're still
blind,
connected, I
kind
don't
of
think.
glaze.
Perfect. Nebuntash.
My name is Nebuntash. I'm 6'1", 160 pounds, kind of gaunt looking. If I were to punch you, you wouldn't feel it. I have purple clothes on. My clothes are very, very nice, but they look like they're about a year old and not too washed. My hair is shaved on the other side and kind of got like a faux hawk. Got pierced eyebrows and rings on my fingers, and I'm holding a very thick rod
With 2 C's.
with 3 C's.
Oh.
Thank
2
you.
fingers.
3 C's.
2 fingers.
Very thick rod. No, it's thick. And I have purple eyes, and I just don't quite look like I belong. Anyway,
Very well.
and that's enough out of you.
I am about 8 feet tall, 350-ish pounds. I'm a big son of a bitch. I am in some leather boots that are obviously custom made for my big ass. And they're not that great looking, but they work. I'm wearing some like garment, sailor-esque pants. I'm kind of wearing like a cloth as a shirt that kind of fits, you know. I'm big. The hat that I have on is actually regular size people hat. all I could find. But it's leather. It's really nice. And I got some leather strappage on me where I keep some of my accoutrement. And I got some green eyes and some dirty tusks. Oh, and 2 trunks.
Oh, what?
One in my pants.
Where you have them? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Which one's bigger?
Yeah. They're about equal.
Oh, wow.
It wraps around his
I'm
thigh.
just
There is a
immediately
very heavy
stop
strap
following
on
around. Also, I want to say my
Face
character is
trunk.
brown. Like a
Face trunk?
mocha
Much
brown
bigger.
skin tone.
Much bigger.
So I have Gwannipoe. He is a male Kenku. So he has kind of the standard Kenku look. He's bipedal raven-looking man. He has a large silver beak, gold eyes, lots of feathers. He has dexterous fingers, but his feet look more like bird feet. He's a young adult for his race, and he wears a kind of silvery purple robe. Has a quiver of bows that he keeps on his back, and he has a large backpack that's full of a lot of stuff. He also keeps a book on his side, looks kind of like a journal or maybe like a drawing pad. And then he also has a bunch of just random looking rings, no real rhyme or reason to them, just shiny stuff. He also has a pouch on his side that he calls his purdy pouch, full of other shiny things that he likes to hold on to.
Not curd pouch.
And that about covers it for him. He's and he's 5'4", and about 100 pounds. So he's pretty slight. He's not a very big dude. So.
Perfect.
So I am in a hood. I have brass goggles. I have a black cape. My armor is black with red accents with gold trim around the red. You can't see my face. You can't see anything about my body. All you can see is maybe right here on my nose. Otherwise, I'm masked up completely. And my bow is completely clear, made of what looks like to be some sort of crystal or stone.
How tall are you?
I'm about 6 foot.
What does your nose look like?
Can't tell. You can just see the top.
I can
'cause
see
I have
the
like a,
top.
What color
I have a
is it?
beard,
What
yeah.
color
Oh.
is the nose?
It's a pale skin.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
information.
it's like normal white pale skin from what you can tell.
Like whiter than Devin's nose?
No skin showing. It's hard to tell. I literally, the hood almost covers my eyes. The hood comes down to my goggles, and my goggles kind of stop it. So it's really hard to tell with a shadow.
I have delicate skin. I got it.
You never know. I have a feeling that we've got a ginger in the group.
Odette is 6'11". She is a painted horse on the bottom, so I'm mainly white with brown spots. My horsetail is brown. My head hair is red. I have blue eyes. I
What color's the down their hair?
have
Do the carpet match the drapes?
it's white.
That's my wife.
My
Technically, she's my
top is a metal bra. And
Doesn't that shape your nipples?
no, I love it.
She got some padding
Love
in
it.
there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I have
I see you.
scars literally all over my body.
Yeah.
What have you done to
All
that?
over my top.
All right. Perfect. As you guys all sit there taking each other in, I believe it was you two that wanted to have a conversation real quick.
I think she came up to me.
I'm just analyzing him.
I'm
I'm gonna
doing the
analyze
same.
you too.
And I'm analyzing
Yes, I
the phallic parts of him.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. I'm going to use the good dice, hopefully it's good.
Yeah. Well, while having all that watch me,
18.
I'm gonna sit there and I'm
Sizable,
gonna kind of
probably not as big as
reach back and
he's
flex.
claiming, but it's pretty good.
Oh, then I got an itch over here.
You guys see my volleyball? I just want you to
Oh, thank you.
That is now,
holding
that
on
is
to
now
that
canon. That is now,
Hold Gwannipoe up with one hand.
that's
Back
now
on the
for the
shoulders.
rest of this whole thing. I just rolled Chris's dick size.
Yeah, I'm
It's
good with that.
well endowed.
And I think that's a great place to take a quick pause.
And it would be Phan's dick size.
Phan, right.
Chris is average.
Chris is pretty.
He's above average.
Oh!
B plus.
Well, good place to take that.
Good place to take a break. Give us 10 minutes. Hopefully, we're not going to see the show when we come back.
Hopefully no errors.
We have no idea what you're going to see in your off time, so
Hopefully a
enjoy it.
PowerPoint.
Hopefully a PowerPoint. We'll see. We'll see. And we will be back in about 10 minutes. Thanks, guys.
Free porn.
Welcome back to the Witness Guild. Hope you guys had a fun break. We certainly did. Gosh, anybody have anything before we get started? I know Chauffeur's off using the loo right now. Everybody good? Anybody need anything before we get started?
I gotta find my voice again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to lose it.
Oh gosh.
Yo, Chris, hurry up, dude. Working with a monster here.
I'm ready to rumble the monster.
That's my favorite Cat Williams skit, dude. And he's like, working with a monster here.
I believe we were talking about Phan's ginormous phallic penis.
Just before we went on break, you guys had experienced the horrifying visage of the Yagigama as it seemed to escape with a child, one of the orphans. You guys got in touch with the local guard, who's not named after anybody in particular. Guard
Christy,
captain.
if you're out there, Mike did it purposely.
It was totally not on purpose.
I thought you were Christy.
No.
He pointed.
Yeah, I did.
I have large titties as well, but
Not
there's
quite.
no
Not big enough to give you back
similar.
problems, though.
There's no
Ours
genetic
are,
resemblance.
Pretty massive.
She gives me
So you
one.
guys get in touch with the captain of the guard, who leads you back to Bertram. Bertram, kind of excusing you from the damage that has been wrought, leaves you in the city with kind of this cryptic message of "Don't go anywhere. We need you to. We're going to ask you questions later." Gives you about a 2-hour time limit. During that time, more guards are showing up and kind of policing the rubble, the destruction, the city. You see there's a cluster of small children that are being led out of the area. They all look very distraught, some of them confused. There's all sorts of different types. There's a small tabaxi. There appears to be a lionin child in there. There's humans, there's dwarves, a whole mix of
Arizona.
different... Huh?
Nothing.
Oh my.
Arizona? You guys gather your senses, and what do you want to do?
Wait, so we're inside the
You're
the
not
chamber?
inside, no. You're standing outside in the courtyard.
We're still in the same courtyard.
In the same area that we pretty much started in.
Gwannipoe kind of peers over Phan's shoulder and sees Odette and sees that she's kind of like an animal creature like them. And he just kind of points at her and goes, "Party bird!" And looks at you and kind of claps a little bit because he's excited to see another animal type person.
I hear you and I'm like,
Yes!
excuse me?
I look at Gwannipoe and I change into her.
Okay, yeah, easy enough.
He like lights up and is like, "Ooh!" He doesn't even know what to say because he's so excited and he's just kind of looking at you and kind of sizing you up.
I am going to take Gwannipoe off my shoulders and stick him in front of me now. Just kind of push you towards.
So I walk over and I kind of start poking and prodding at you, kind of inspecting
same.
your feathers to see what kind of quality you have and how well you've taken care of them.
We do like the whole roll of sniffing each other's butts kind of deal.
Yeah, like dogs trying to get friendly.
Kenku.
Yeah.
The thing that surprises you most, probably out of all of this, is the fact that she starts speaking when somebody directs a question at her. Speaks freely and uninhibited, unlike other Kenku and yourself.
He just kind of looks at you and says, "Secret. Secret."
No secrets.
And I just kind of look at Phan and say, "Liar."
Liar. That's not the same as you.
I just
Not
kinda,
the same.
My face just falls and I kind of look at you and I'm like,
I
"Sad
choose
times." I return to you. And
I flip my hair back and
I must have said that way too many times.
Being bored and unamused by this, what seems to be incest between animals, I'm gonna walk over to the only thing that I notice is semi-humanoid. Over to the what I can tell is a small warlock, and I'm gonna poke him on the head.
Here comes the loud one.
Because I'm going to say, what is your story as these animals decide to sniff each other's asses and look for bugs or whatever they're doing?
Look, I'm
Why-
not saying I'm
why
not
are you
interested.
here?
I'm not saying I'm not interested, but do you have a ball gag?
This is the weirdest question I've ever been asked in my entire life.
Are you
I
kidding
can
me?
give
Have
you
you
something
seen
to
the
gag
proof?
on if you want. Believe me.
Not for you, friend.
And I'm not talking about my genitalia, you sick fuck. Listen, I know what you're. I know the ways that you are thinking because you said ball gag. I asked you, why are you traveling with horsewoman and woman who seems to shapeshift, and others just don't even notice? What is your business in this town?
Yeah, he doesn't really stop talking. You're right. Look, okay, my
I've been
business is
dealing with
my...
this for like a day and a half.
I didn't know
You know you
this
can
conversation.
just
I
squish
thought
him,
that you were
right?
sniffing each other's asses. Why don't you stay out of this?
I have
will ask the
advantage on
question.
perception to hearing because
So I'm going
the big old.
to. So I'm going
ears.
to
I mean,
step in front of.
trying to hide it.
I'm going to step in front of the 8-foot elephant,
pointing out why I can hear.
assert myself, and say, "I'm asking you the questions. I don't care what this thing has to say behind me. What are you guys doing here? What is the purpose?"
Look, I was just here in town minding my own business, having a drink at 17, and then I ended up in the drunk tank last night. I helped build an orphanage. The orphanage exploded, and here we are.
Wait, you
This answers
you
many-
built an orphanage
By myself.
in one night.
Yes.
Congratulations. sir.
Very powerful. Yes.
That was.
Yes. Do you
What
have
was the
some-
good
purpose
on you.
of the orphanage? It seems as though there was a child in there. Where did these children come from?
Well, the whole point of the orphanage was that there was going to be children in there. So a child being in the orphanage is not that weird.
This is great, but it seems to be, why would such a glorious city want peasant children?
Whoa,
An
whoa,
orphanage in
whoa,
such
whoa.
You are
Or
supposed to
orphan
be
children.
you are supposed to be the town of the high and mighty. Why would you put the poor in the middle of such a great city?
Well,
It
if
does
you
not
had
make
listened
sense to
to
me.
the
And
s-
then you have a blue beast that bursts from within. So what? Who is the who are the people that runs this?
Sometimes
you
the
had
high and
listened-
mighty don't have time for their kids.
That is not an orphanage.
No.
That is called a
Daycare.
That is a servant or the daycare.
If you had listened...
I don't understand. I'm just trying to understand what is the purpose of the orphanage. Why are you here, and how were you gifted the opportunity to even build such a monument?
If you had heard the Avatar speaking earlier, it would be very clear.
The Avatar. Are you talking about the ones that has wind around him that looks like he could be pushed over with a pencil?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, though, he said that so the townspeople don't all have to take in orphans, They built a single collective place.
They have slaves everywhere. What do you mean orphans? It seems like the poor in this city are treated like absolute shit. They are frail, they are skinny, and they are given the weapons that I would give farmers from where I'm from. So I don't understand what you mean. They would eventually become slaves. Why would you... Are you creating orphan slaves? That's the whole purpose of this town? Is that Blue Beast a hero? To me, it almost seems heroic to take such a small child out of what could be a life of
I don't
despair.
know if you saw me staring at the horse's ass for hours, but I'm not the ethical type. I can't answer these questions for you.
How did you get here?
You
Sir, who brought
stay
you to
away from my love.
Why don't you join me with your love?
No.
Alright, this is
What
Vienna.
about
This
just you
time
and me?
I'm going to start marching
What about just
my
you
ass.
and me?
I want to be the first one at this
really?
meeting. I want to be proper, prim, and I want to be sitting in front of this, wherever the meeting point is,
Is
and
there
ready
a
for
bar
this.
near the location we have to go to?
Not near the
that
location that
that.
you need to go to. So basically, where you're at is on the more eastern side of the city, and anything further from here is either ocean, dock, or there's an island that is off the coastline that nobody's really talked about. Like, nobody ever brings it up. It just kind of is like a known landmark.
Would any of us know of what type of beast this is? Would
Didn't
we have
I
any
have
idea?
anything?
Would we have heard about it, or would we know where it's from, or would we know a type of person that would know what it was?
I'll say you and you and you can make history checks.
I thought
I don't want to know from them. I'm saying in
recognized
general.
it.
Oh, that's
Would-
right. you
Okay,
did, you
so
did.
in general, I don't want to ask them. So I want to know, would anybody in this town, specifically, would I know where I would need to go to maybe, if they had a general idea?
There is a library that is literally right next to the orphanage that you could go and do research if you wanted to. Or the place that you were headed to before, the university, which is right behind the city center, which is kind of like a, what do they call those? I can't remember. I love Greek stuff, so it's like the big, I turned the thing off. Like the Parthenon almost, but it's like
Welcome to.
Everybody not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. It's like a large ring of varying concentric rings where people can sit, the population can sit, and in the center is where the
Arena?
leaders,
the agora.
the agora, thank you. Where the leaders of the community can come together and speak, and everybody can listen. It's kind of like this town hall situation, but it's carved into the ground so that everyone always has an vantage point to.
Are there
see.
any things in this town or in this realm that would be considered a beastmaster or a slayer of sorts?
You could ask. You could definitely ask.
Alright, so
around.
I'm gonna try
Go
to
ahead and
find.
make an investigation check for me.
I got 15.
Well, I can't just find the. Okay.
For your history check?
Yes.
What'd you
I
get?
got 9.
Okay. You remember very specifically the Tabaxi
What are you
yesterday that you were talking to
Investigation?
mentioned a goat-headed demon that was like born of hatred, and seemed to it was more of like a horror story, like a fable that like was to warn kids. It's almost like a wives' tale that mothers used to you better watch out or the Yagigama's going to get you. But you don't remember him saying that. He just described something similar to this creature. And looking around, you don't see him anywhere in the crowd.
The Tabaxi?
Mm-hmm. The one that he
Right.
had
Wasn't
agreed.
he there, though?
He agreed to show up last night, but you never saw him today.
It was a different one.
All right, 20.
Yeah, it was a different
we were
Tabaxi
fighting with.
that you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
20 for investigation.
Yeah, you find rather quickly. Oh, good golly God!
I tell you my little story.
Why doesn't your
about
stream have
the,
video? What?
We
Really?
don't have video?
We not have video. Thank you, Brendan.
No, I can see it.
I can see us.
You can just bring.
Maybe Liana, can we get a gut check here? Can you
I'm
see
watching
and
this
or
right
see?
now.
I can see. Brendan, if you're watching, I love you, and I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe refresh the page, but
Damn, Brendan's watching.
what were we talking about?
Beast.
Beastmaster. Liana's
Slayer.
coming up. Are we good?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're
Okay,
good.
Brendan, it sounds like that's a personal problem, but try refreshing the page.
You don't keep those scares like that next time.
There is a There are.
Actually,
You're referred to what is known as a Yagradar. A Yagradar. They keep saying it. Yagradar Peretz and Yagradar Kapuli, as well as the Marshal Mactus, who's Christy Mactus. You've already met her. And there is a retired knight, Mika Harath, that is supposedly in the city. You're directed to all four. You can pretty much take your pick, but they're probably your resident experts on things like this, as far as fighting would go.
So I don't want to go to Christy. Who's the oldest of them all?
I mean, through that, I would say you probably pull that it is the knight Mika Harath. She's retired at this point. Okay, perfect. So you getting in the right directions. You find a door.
Hold on. Before we leave,
He's already gone.
By myself.
Okay.
What's your question then?
I was going to ask if the lady who was going to take over the orphanage, if she survived and if she was still in the area.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Pounding on the door, you march right up in your very confident and pronounced way. You bang on the door, and the woman that answers is a half-elf. Very small, diminutive size, probably 4.5 feet, 4 or 6. She looks like she has lots of sinew, lots of scars, very tight, leathery skin. Has been around for some time to be showing age like this and to be long silver hair pulled into a tight bun. There's a large scar across one of her eyes, and she kind of leans out. What?
Hello, My Majesty. How are you today?
My Majesty? My Majesty?
You are an elder elf to
My
me,
ma-
so you are My Majesty. I say I
You-
give you my thanks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure.
You can react however you want.
Well, thank you so much for the permission to react.
You are welcome. It's okay. I understand that someone in your age would be a little bit weary to understand or take a compliment. I understand that you are a beast slayer like myself, and I'm here to help the town. I've heard that you are retired, so I know that you don't fight, but I do believe that you can help the town.
Make a
I do believe-
persuasion check with disadvantage. Shit on her immediately.
I love it.
Don't make me roll this nat 20.
Catch more flies with honey.
gotta roll one more time.
Yeah, it's a disadvantage.
What?
It's
could
a
be worse.
disadvantage because you pretty much shit on her.
So take the lowest number of the two.
So the first one was better, or worse.
Okay.
What is this one? This
Persuasion.
So it's a 10.
As you kind of continue, like going, like, okay, I want to help. She's just like, and the door slams in your face, and you're just like, "Bruh."
So I'm going to, even though I don't know any spells, I'm going to make it seem like I'm casting a ritual outside of her house.
Make a performance check. I'll say make a performance check.
Performance? How could she tell the difference? Performance check.
How convincing
That's
is
Yeah,
it?
it's how I want to know how
You have to.
How theatrical are you?
that exactly. How good are you making this? Are we like hopping on one foot, like, hey, no. What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you do. You start pulling components out of your pouch and start lining up in circles. You find it's a twig. You know it's a twig, but from a distance it could be incense, and you light it and stick it in one of the pieces of meat, and it starts to burn a little faster than you want it to. It's pretty dry twig, but in that time you're sitting there and performing this. You look up just through your goggles. Nobody can really see where you're looking, and you can see her like kind of nervously like looking at you from behind a shutter and like.
What the fuck is happening?
And so I'm going to say,
Not sponsored by Zane.
Knock and down.
there. You don't even know what I'm doing. It's gum.
It's gum.
It's gum.
It is gum.
It's
I saw it.
How much gum?
Spearmint gum.
Some young guy.
It's
It's
2
some-
2 ounces.
2 ounces
I'm
of gum.
going to say one more time. I'm going to say, I did not come here to harm. But if the curse is what you want, the curse is what you'll get. And I'm going to
Oh my
just,
God.
I'll knock 2 more times.
Make an intimidation check.
Gosh.
It's like every other one.
Yeah.
One's back. God.
I don't think he wants you to do it.
I'm just interested to see how this goes.
Oh, hell fucking yes. 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 What is my plus? 18.
Okay. Yeah, you hear, after a couple seconds, you hear footfalls inside, and the door opens up. No respect for elders. Just opens the door and leaves it open and, like, turns back into the building. It's a small house. It's in the residential section, which is on the northwest side of the city, just below where the quarry would be. Walking in, all the houses around here seem very similarly built. It looks like they have a system to it, in that they don't try to have elaborate, unique individuality. It's more of like these are efficient, these are purpose-built, and these are designed to try and keep any one person from getting a leg up. The inside of this building is about 15 feet by 15 feet. There's a staircase in the back that seems to go to a second floor, and I mean, you saw her standing looking up from the second story shutters earlier. On the walls are beautiful paintings of landscapes. There's one of a waterfall. There's open prairies with beautiful poppies and other carnations. It's very peaceful. And from what you've heard about this person, this doesn't really seem to match. But you take it with a grain. She turns around and sits down on a stool.
Would she know of what type of regalia to say I was from? Would they have had, if she's an elf or a half-elf, would you have recollection or know what type of unit I come from and what I do? If I told her.
You can ask her. You can always try.
So, I'm going to ask her back. Why were you so uneasy to talk to me? Why did you slam the door on my face? I did not come here to harm at first. I want to ask a question to protect your town. You're an old knight, slayer, whatever you want to call yourself, beastmaster. But you slammed the door on my face.
Right, no, not many people come to my house and insult me to my face very often. So
To
I tend
insult?
to...
I said, Your Majesty, I knew that you were older than me. How is that an insult? I said that you are a better slayer than me. I too am a slayer of beasts.
There it is again with the old word. You keep throwing it around like it's okay. It's not okay.
Are you not older than me?
I may or may not be, but that is besides the point.
Listen, I can tell you from the crow's feet around your eyes, we're both elves. You're older than me, it's okay. There's no reason to be upset about it. I would want the same respect if you were younger than me.
TPK.
Hold on.
TPK.
Before, slow down, Junior.
Thank you. See, that is okay. I'm not mad. I am the junior.
Run, little one. What do you want from them?
The town
How
was
can I help
attacked
you?
earlier, as I'm sure you've known.
I heard the bells.
What would wear the head of a ram and oozes what seems to be a blue aura? I've never seen such thing. I am a part of a regalia that used to fight for the elite or the kingdom of elves, where I would track beasts such as this, but I've never seen such a thing. It can teleport, and it seems to have wanted a child.
You said
Why
it's
would
teleport.
it teleports?
So
It
it is,
moves.
it's a mystical one then. Something dark. What color was that aura, you said?
It was blue.
Blue.
And it went to the mountains. For some reason, it fleeted to the mountains behind this town.
The mountains don't last very long. Start running into the forest there. You'd probably have to talk to one of the academic types. Maybe John Morm. Dragonborn over at the university, but if what you're saying is true, it'll probably be... Is there a town meeting going on? Have you heard anything of it? I was just taking a little, getting a little nap.
Yeah, you heard of it. It's okay. You don't have to lie to me. Yes, there's a town meeting coming up. They want to interview me and the other peoples in the town because we're travelers.
Oh, man.
And they did not recognize us, so we are wanted there, and I will be there. But I wanted to find out what the thing is, because it wants children. Why would a beast want children? Usually beasts want items. Right? Wouldn't you say the elite and the powerful are looking for magical items? This one wanted a dwarven child.
Well,
Or at least a child, it's that.
I have to say, sometimes it's not an item so much as an idea that they want to steal. Does that make sense? See, we've been at war with Cedar Gatling under the covers, It's quiet, it's behind the scenes, but nothing that would merit something like this, but who knows, maybe they're starting to escalate more. I mean, it's not common knowledge that Goodfellow's been trying to outbid them on the market,
But
but
a dwarven child.
Dwarven
It just
child.
seems the dwarves are good for foraging. Let's
Listen,
be honest.
you are an outsider. You do what you're good at.
My ghost is slaving.
I'm just saying the dwarves are good at fighting, but let's be honest. We know
You-
as an elf that you would
You
be
are an
able to-
outsider. Yes, I'm very
You are
well
one
aware
of
that.
me. You can disagree, but you have
I
the blood of myself in you. You
am-
know that damn well we are good with the bows.
I'm
Those
a
little
citizen
hammers
of
do not do
Goodfellow,
shit.
thank you. I have been a citizen of Goodfellow for
I'm
quite
not
some
talking
time.
about the citizenship. I'm talking about your blood. What you're good at
What
fighting
you
wars.
are failing to see is the bigger picture. Yeah, Goodfellow is a city of people who work for each other. We are a oligarchy run by the main proprietors of business, and we are also.
But you act like I am defending one or the other. I have no alliance to this big hoity-toity city or yourself.
If you wanted to destabilize your enemy, would you do it by stealing their pride and joy, or would you do it by
An
stealing
orphan. Are you telling
a
me that the orphan
mentality?
is...
Hit them where it hurts the most. We care
An
about
orphan-
our children.
You are
Why do you
talking
think we
about the
build an
orphans.
orphanage?
You're talking about the slaves that are already in your city. What will an orphan become? One of 20 will become something of royalty, or be able to rise to a power of a normal peasant. What are they stealing via
They become
dwarven child?
citizens. When they turn of age,
You are
they
telling me
become
that the
citizens.
people that look like they have not eaten in 15 days and have these toys
are you
of a
talking
farmer, you are telling me that they are citizens.
Are you looking at? Are you talking about the watch?
I'm talking...
The watch. The
This is
slaves
crazy.
are the officers.
This is crazy.
They are
You
offered
know...
an opportunity to work for us.
The
After they are
opportunities, the same
captured.
opportunities that the orphans
And
will be
after
offered.
4 simple years, they are given citizenship. It's a
What?
very fair trade-off, and it is the best way to man our
How many
military
of these?
forces.
How many of these watchmen actually live to see to become a citizen?
Where was this?
Plenty. I mean,
Anyway.
who else? Some fall in battle, but that's sacrifice made for country.
Yes.
For,
So I
for the
see what
goodness
you're
of the
saying.
city.
I guess I'm understanding or wanting to understand
So
why
are
this
you
creature
okay?
would pick a dwarf. How many dwarves are there in this city?
Plenty. There are dwarves everywhere. There's pretty much every walk of life from around here.
So there was no significance if it's just attack on your city. Is that what you would say from your perspective? You don't see any significance to a dwarf being
From a
taken.
tactical advantage, a tactical standpoint, I would say.
What tactical advantage is it
Do
for
you want to
somebody
know the
that can
answer to
literally
the
sit on
question?
the
You
ground
ask
and hit me with
questions
the
and then
hammer?
you just keep going on and on
How
about.
much time is passing here? What are
It's
we
like-
doing?
it's-
Like, are we just twiddling our thumbs?
No,
What's
this is-
going on?
You guys are doing something else juxtaposed to this.
Okay.
Okay,
But
but time
once-
is stopping for us.
Yeah, you guys
Okay,
are pretty
cool.
much frozen in
measuring
time.
Phan's trunk.
And then this is probably taking the better part
Which
of
one?
an
The full
hour.
2 hours that you were live?
So I'm going to say, okay, I appreciate you letting me know about the person at the universities that may be able to help me. I hope that we will be able to help. I wish that you would tell me exactly what the significance of a dwarven child is or an orphan.
Do you know the significance of a dwarven child?
I do not live in the city. Why would I know that?
Why would I know that?
Why would I? You obviously were here to protect it, right?
No,
If
I
you
was
are-
here to retire.
So you're here to retire. That's
You're
all.
not working
Why would you
anymore.
retire here and not in a more prestigious city?
I like the quiet.
There's no quiet parts for Svelti in a big city like that. I come to see that that's just a lie. But I understand.
You probably
To each
regrets
their
moving
own.
here now.
She stands
No, she-
and beckons you to the door, and it's like, it's time to leave.
And I believe.
Okay. She gives you a slight nod as you walk out. Back to you guys. The abbess is not around. You don't see her. You're not sure if she is moving of her own accord. You do remember watching her get blown out of the opening of the orphanage.
So while all that was going on, I'd say, so how much lube do you think we would need?
There's not enough olive oil
Olive oil.
in Goodfellow, so let's not do
I'll
that.
start a collection.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Tell Brendan not to
Wow,
follow me.
really?
Brendan, I love you.
He knows what we're doing, right?
He does know what we're doing.
Son of a...
Love you, Brendan.
Divorce him. Marry Debbie.
He's the greatest.
While you guys are
They're not
talking,
divorced yet.
Gwannipoe just starts saying, olive oil, olive oil.
Me and Luna are gonna go back to the
Luca.
orca. Or Luca.
I'm her
Luna's your
moon.
dog.
I am her moon. It's okay.
I
You're
don't think she
pretty
likes you
good.
as much as you like her.
Luca are gonna go back to the orphanage and investigate exactly where the thing came out of.
Okay.
See if we
Looking
can
at
find
it from
anything.
inside, you're allowed in. There are
Think it's all
guards
past
that
our
have kind of been
trust
told that you guys are okay, and the orphanage, the guy who runs it, Bertram, kind of like is like, yeah, they're fine. They've been in here before. Looking at it from the inside, it looks like incredible force was used, whether it was magical or just a feat of strength. You're not really sure. But tracing further back inside, you go through some of the different rooms that you guys had previously brought beds into, or trunks, or there's a mess hall where there's long wooden tables that have been set out. And everything, for the most part, looks very pristine. Go ahead and make an investigation check. I'll say, I'll
So
say
did she
anyone
get,
that went in.
can I help her with that?
Where'd they go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that,
I wouldn't say we're there with them.
Oh, mine's at plus.
I'll help you.
Okay. She's gonna help me.
6.
So you went with them? You left?
I went with them, but I wanted to ask Bertram about the abbess.
the abbess?
The abbess.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. 21.
So I didn't follow them inside.
Okay, so you're more standing in the
I'm talking to
atrium
people.
or
I
the
want to talk to
entry.
people. Yeah.
Okay, so you're interrogating effectively.
Sure.
Okay. So walking up to Bertram. My twin. How can I help you?
Did you like my trick?
It was
Pretty good, right? The voice.
maybe under different circumstances
The voice was
more
great.
amazing.
Look, I apologize for that. My ass was on the line, and while my ass is often on the line, it was a bad situation, so I do apologize. What happened to the abbess?
From what I know, she's been taken to the hospital and is being treated for her wounds. It's not looking good, I'll tell you that.
Does anybody know who the child was that was taken?
We have taken a head count, yes, and we believe that the child was a young dwarf named Sarah.
Sarah?
Yes, she's been in the community for about 6 months. And it also appears that another boy, Jeremy, human, has gone missing, and we're not sure.
And I
There's
assume
currently
they
a
were
search
both
for the city.
orphans.
Yes, they were actually close friends, you might say.
Does anybody know how long they were missing for?
We had positive accountability for them as late as 7 o'clock this morning. Just after breakfast, really.
Were the orphans allowed inside the building before the actual ceremony?
They weren't supposed to, but I wouldn't put it past them, and we saw that Sarah came from inside the building. She wasn't supposed to be in there, but
Well, I'm wondering if the beast dragged her in there, or if they were just in there, and then the beast came out.
possible. Possible. I understand where you're going.
Have
I
you
can't
s-
say at this point, but we will be conducting a town meeting and getting the points of views from everyone involved.
Have you sifted through the rubble and found all the bodies? Is it possible this Jeremy person was just a casualty?
It is possible, but as yet we have identified all of the bodies, and the boy has not been recovered.
How
What are you
old?
doing later tonight?
I'll probably be searching for the lost children.
Well, if you find some free time, you come and find me at the inn.
I'll consider it. Thank you.
Please do.
So we got 21.
You guys walking in, going through every room pretty thoroughly. You wander through the mess hall. Everything looks perfectly in place. You wander down into the few rooms there. Instead of being what most would consider like in an orphanage where there's one long room with several beds, this was designed to be more of like give a personal identity and a personal space to the orphans.
Oh, nice.
So each room is a little smaller, has maybe 4 to 5 beds in it, in different stacks, bunks, things like that. The first, second, third room takes you about 30 minutes to go through each one, or to get through those rooms. When you enter the fourth room, you find that the room is completely destroyed. The beds are flipped up over, end on end.
Was it connected to the mess hall?
Yeah, so
they call
there's
them,
a hallway, and each room
stairs?
is kind of just on each side. This one doesn't have any windows. It's one of the interior rooms. The exterior wall rooms seem to have some sort of window.
So
This
was
one
it
doesn't have one.
ransacked or like blown up?
It looks like an explosion went off in here.
Something from the ground?
There are, looking at the beds, there are slash marks where there are breaks in the wood. The bunk beds are kind of like cracked in half, but still holding their shape for the most part.
Do we know if this was Sarah and Jeremy's room?
Looking around, you start gathering that there was at least one female that was supposed to live in here. You find a small doll. It's very simple straw cloth doll with like green hair and mismatched button eyes and a goofy little like smile on its face. That looks like it was stitched by somebody who doesn't know how to stitch. And it's wearing like a little pink dress. You gather that this is probably not the way this room was supposed to be, and knowing that you guys moved stuff in yesterday, this isn't how you left it.
Would it be like the force of like, would the force be from one central location going outward?
It looks like
So no walls or the floor or
the wall's
ceiling?
not cracked or damaged.
Okay.
And the doors here are large. They're 8 feet tall and 4.5, 5 feet wide. And looking at the back of the door, you can see there are bloody streaks on the back, where it seems to go from like a bloody streak into like almost like somebody dragged a knife through in 3 parallel lines.
Is there anything from the claws that we can like see, like any fur or anything like that? Anything? No.
Nothing like that. Whatever dug into this door was sharp, and you can see even looking at it from behind. There's a part where the door kind of bows in. The doll would have been like immediately to the left of the door, and just from what you gather, whatever caused the damage to this room wasn't one singular explosive force. It was several impacts, several traumas.
Like it was like going bah,
Like
bah,
something
bah,
was thrashing
trying to,
around
like, get
inside.
out. But there wasn't a location of where this thing got out.
No tunnels or anything.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Trapdoors or anything?
Right.
No, there's no trap door. It looks like there's one entrance and one exit. You do find there is, after you look around for some time more, you find one of the trunks that's flipped upside down, kind of peeking underneath it. It looks like a broken, almost like a rosary, but just beaded necklace. That beads just go scattering around your feet, and you can see there's a
a thin cotton or twine fabric rope thing, I guess, necklace. I guess you say you put it together as a necklace.
I'm gonna take the doll and gather as much as I can find of the necklace.
Okay.
I think we're better off finding some type of god to protect ourselves. Because whatever this is demonic.
Obviously, it takes children, yes.
Well, I guess we're here to save a child.
I would love to save that child. And possibly Jeremy.
We may need some help.
Should we talk to the 3 other people that were helping out?
I hate the one that wants to talk to you all the time. I really appreciate just slaughtering him for a second. But I guess we need a
I am
manpower.
pretty hot, so.
You're so hot. Like, so incredibly hot. I guess we can recruit.
Okay.
Alright.
So we're gonna go try to find.
So while they were doing that, Gwannipoe's gonna remember that they had heard a rumor that there was a translator in Goodfellow. And not having the words to express this, he kind of pulls out his side book and writes to Phan, which he can speak fluently in his written form. And he has beautiful handwriting because he's copied many scrolls, so he's just copied many like scripts that he thinks are really cool.
Quite easily some of the best calligraphy you've seen ever.
So I kind of read out to you, let's bring the book to a translator, the one we heard about at the university. I think that book might have some ties to Yamigama. I recognized a symbol in there that kind of brought back some memories of some old tales I had heard from my travels.
Okay.
And that's just kind of, I kind of like present the book to you, and that's
And
what
I go.
It's a little difficult to read because, like,
It's
you're a bit more bumpkin.
Yeah. Yo, fancy bumpkin. We're fancy. I'd have to agree. We'll head there, and I kind of like go to look for my book, and it's obviously not there.
It is not there.
But I don't have the book.
What?
I don't have the book. Something tells me that sneaky little elf fucker has it. So we will go sit and wait for him. He's got to meet us at the thing in an hour, right?
Gwannipoe starts shaking his hand and goes, "Thief!"
Just picture it.
Mimicking someone he had seen do that at one point.
I'd agree. Or fucker. Same thing. I guess you want to go sit down? Do you need anything?
He starts making like crunchy noises, like he's hungry. Like
We can go find some. What do you want?
corn.
We can do that. We can do that, and we go find a little market.
Okay.
I get a corn cob and start packing it back and forth.
Yeah, it doesn't take you very long. You guys are in the kind of area where the bars and taverns and the food restaurant areas would be. You know that there's probably some more like street vendor type food up in the market district, but where you guys are at is more like the temporary residence / I don't want to cook at home today area. You find a very interesting looking, it's something you've quite never run into before. It looks like a catfish on legs, and as it stands there, it's kind of like looking at but he hands you corn on the cob, and it's going to cost you about 5 copper.
Okay.
But
Gwannipoe just kind of slowly takes from him.
It's like it looks like it's having a very difficult
And
time.
I'm just gonna let Gwannipoe handle this situation.
Gwannipoe makes the breathy sounds back at it like. How much was it?
5 copper.
Luca and Odette, since we were looking for people,
Wolfcat, I want to say. Wolfcat?
would like to can we go after them?
I would say in the time that it took you to do that, they probably made their way out before you. But you still
I think
interviewing
you should
people.
just be able to do that. It's fine.
You're
So-
very
Once they
phased.
came out,
Yeah. Anybody have anything else they want
Hey,
to do?
Nebuntash. So Luca and I were talking, and we really feel the need to save the little girl named Sarah. And there's a guy
How
named
did you
Sarah.
know her name was Sarah? When I was out here asking the question.
There was
Well,
a piece
we
of paper in
investigated
her room. She was writing her name.
Oh, okay, all right.
We just had a feeling that
Oh.
that was the girl that was supposed to be.
Yes, it's Sarah, and apparently there's a Jeremy missing as
Oh,
well.
interesting.
So those are the only 2 orphans that they know of that are missing.
Okay, well, we really feel the need to go save them, and we were talking, and we kind of want to recruit the 3 other people that were also fighting because they seem like pretty good fighters and they knew what they're doing. Would you be willing to do that with us?
With conditions.
I knew I was an orphan. Yes, I would love to join you. I have a soft spot in my heart for orphans, and no, it's not a dirty one. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I was swimming in the gutter just now.
What are your conditions?
You don't look at her ass. You
I'm
don't
out.
try to get up in this gig.
Why are you so close-minded?
Not close-minded.
It seems like you are.
You smell.
A smell.
Smell.
Look, I know they're not the freshest clothes, but I try. I'm rather posh.
Posh as in, ugh. It smells. I don't like it.
He doesn't.
I'm not cleaning up, babe.
But you said your clothes were like a year
Oh,
old.
yeah, they're old, they're worn, look,
Dirty.
They're a
I
bit
don't
smelly.
always-
They have this like.
Musky.
I'm gonna walk up like, hey you little ones,
You
I'm
are
like, hey you buns that smells like shit. What you have to do is that I was this. Let's go. We have to go to the town hall.
You are actually talking to the knight right now.
I thought I left. I said,
You
Yeah,
are.
but it
So
was a long
this
conversation.
It took you time to get to the knight, and during that time, they're doing the other thing. So
Okay.
we're breaking into basically, you know, like when you read a
Yeah,
chapter in a
yeah,
book
yeah.
and then it goes to a different perspective. Sort of.
okay.
I'll be honest, these clothes were not purchased.
He was just trying to smell himself.
They're not purchased, let's put it that way. I'm not exactly as well off as maybe some other people are. I've got no family or backup or any kind of thing. I've been on my own for a long time. So, please don't judge me on my appearance. I do try.
Well, I'll take the chip off of my shoulder if you take the chip off of your shoulder.
I have no shit at all. I've shown nothing but interest and love for both of you. Watch me all you want, I like it.
Well, we gotta find the other ones.
I fully agree. I'm with you on this journey. You guys are the only people I know, so if you want me around, I'll stick around.
Sounds good.
But-
We'll meet the other 3 at the meeting.
I only get weirder, I just want to let you know.
We
Yeah.
like weird then.
Kinda, but only when I started.
I'll
So
take
you
this
just
book.
want to be the initiator. I can back off. I don't mind doing that. I'll take a step back and you can advance. You're already, okay?
Maybe dimensionally like that big, but you know, that big.
So we're gonna head, all 3 of us, to the meeting place to hopefully meet everyone else.
In case you guys ever need to know shit about the periodic table, I have it for my D&D stuff.
Oh,
Awkward.
God, don't test us. When the last time I took chemistry.
I'll be alright.
Cesium.
I
Anybody want to do anything before anything else? We don't have
I'm
much
gonna
time
go.
left.
I'm gonna go find a knife. I want to find a knife shop, and I want to buy a knife that's able to cut through leather.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
specific.
I mean, I would say you probably already have a dagger on you, don't you?
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Cut through leather,
Yeah.
though.
Easy enough.
Can it cut through leather?
It would take a little bit of energy, but you
So,
have time
Can
to
you cut
move
through a long
around here.
pig?
Long pork.
The hide of his enemies.
Is it long pork?
It is long pork.
Oh.
It's not. Long pig is, I don't know, that's something else, but long pork is what you're thinking of.
Alright. So can it?
Yeah, it's a dagger.
I'd like to just be meditating in the place we're supposed to be waiting.
Okay.
Like,
So,
just dead center.
as you come walking around the corner, you're sawing just kind of like leaning up against one of the large pillars that supports the ring that goes around this whole. What do we call it?
The agora.
The agora. And people are kind of trickling in. You look over as you're kind of sawing through it, and you see the elephant person that you're familiar with sitting in one spot meditating. I'm assuming you're probably hanging out next to him.
I'm just
chowing
still there.
down on some
Yep,
corn.
just still eating my corn.
And just picking it off one kernel at a time with expert
Really
precision.
savoring it.
Just every bite is the best. After a few minutes, you manage to. Are you trying to carve the cover off? What's the goal with the dagger?
None of your business.
Do you have to know?
I mean, text me. Let me know. After a few minutes, you accomplish whatever goal it is. I think we'll discuss it later. And you make your way over to them as you three come around from the opposite side, the more southern side of the agora. You spot. I mean, it's impossible to miss. A completely clothed cloth. I wish I had words. Anyways, you can't see any part of his skin.
Veiled.
Perfectly veiled. Humanoid standing next to a giant meditating elephant person with a little black bird person right next to him. The three of them just sitting there quietly.
I run up to Gwannipoe and I'm like, "Hi."
I kind of turn away because I'm distrustful of her now because she really tricked me and she broke my heart. I turn to Odette and I have my corn cob and I open my beak and I just make lip smacking noises that I've heard before and I offer it to you. My corn piece I'm trying to share.
I take it and put it in my bra area right here.
He kind of sees that as like a close intimate, like you're going to keep it close to your heart, so he just goes and is happy with it and kind of licks the juices off his fingers.
I like
I
him.
texted you.
He's cute, isn't he?
He's so cute.
Did you just flirt with him?
I don't know.
Got it.
All right.
I'm gonna
All right.
poke at the meditating elephant.
I'm not meditating after that weird shit.
So it seems you're of an intellect that can speak. Not saying that your companion is not cute, and I would love him.
Smart.
So smart. Oh, you're so wonderful. However,
Yeah, outside of the words, he's pretty good with everything else. So don't embarrass yourself or be rude to him.
underestimated
Yeah.
the lovely, lovely, beautiful raven.
Yeah.
We want to save the child, very much so, and we need someone of your caliber and girth to assist.
I mean,
if
Jesus.
you're willing.
Gwannipoe mutters under his breath.
I mean,
So what we know right now is a little girl named Sarah is missing, and a little boy named Jeremy is not counted for, and we're not sure exactly where Jeremy is at this point. So
I mean, we only saw
have the
one.
assumption that maybe
We only
the
saw
creature
one
took
kid,
Jeremy
right?
as well.
One
Yeah,
kid,
but it was a big creature.
a demonic beast,
And you don't, for some reason, think that Jeremy could be this creature?
perhaps.
Ooh. Maybe not. I don't know.
We know the last known location.
Judging from the evidence in the room you told me about, it kind of seems like he might have transformed into the creature. There was no tunnel, there was nothing breaking through into that room. It seemed to originate in that room.
I'll tell you what.
But how do we know Jeremy
I
was
happen
in that
to
room
know
either?
that the
There was the
little,
carnage in the room.
the
Did we see
other elf
blood?
man that we're with.
Oh, he's an elf. I was trying
Yeah.
to figure his body out.
I don't know if I've even got his name. I'm Phan, by the way. PH.
Luca.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Odette.
Yeah, PH Phan.
Fan, I have to say that I am a fan of you. My name is Nebuntash. You can call
PH
me-
Phan, though. It's different.
Right, it was PH. I've got
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
Okay.
You can call me Nebu.
I don't remember where we were going with this, but I do think that.
You said the
Do you want to
elf.
save
Oh.
the child or not?
Like the one you call cute over here happened to read in that book, because he
A book?
is intellectual.
What
That-
book are you speaking about?
I think the little elf guy has it.
What elf?
I had
book are
it.
you
I think he
talking
stole
about?
it. I don't know. We found it in the fucking
What
woods
elf guy?
outside of here yesterday, and it fucking spooked us. So we came to figure out what it was. I don't know much about it, but the annoying one.
I can
Alright,
identify
what
it.
did he read in this book?
I don't know.
Gwannipoe starts writing in his journal, and he draws the symbol that you told me that I saw. And he's gonna write Yagi Gama underneath it, but he doesn't really know any other information. He's just gonna kind of show you the symbol he saw.
Yeah.
And writes.
Would I know that the demonic beast that I know of is called a Yagi-Gama?
You're pretty sure you've heard the word, and you're pretty sure you heard it yesterday from that tabaxi.
Yes! I know that thing.
You can
Maybe.
talk to him normally.
Oh, normally.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah. It's like a human, but not.
By the way, what is your name?
Gwannipoe.
Gwannipoe.
Nice to meet you, Gwannipoe.
Nice to meet you,
to meet
Gwannipoe.
I'm Odette.
Nice to meet you, Gwannipoe.
That was good. That was so good.
So we heard that this is kind of like a fairy tale of this area, actually. The Yagami.
He points to kind of correct what
Yagami.
you're saying.
Yagami.
Connak?
Cognac, where?
What do you want?
Oh, come on. You would have heard him coming.
Can you come in here and show them this book?
You have the book. I gave this to you in the woods. I'm doing something.
Look, man. I know that you took the book.
We have to
I
go
don't
somewhere.
have it.
You have been giving me nothing
You were
but
the
trouble.
only
I
one.
literally threw 200 gold at you. Do you think I give a shit about the book? I told you guys the book was. You told
Okay,
me
well-
I don't care about the book. Then I go track the book.
We lied to
And
you
for
when
some
we told
reason,
you.
when I'm sitting up in
God
the trees, you
damn
come
it.
to get the book. I gave you the book. I told you guys the book was. I asked you if you would help me. You said yes. Why would I want the book? I told you I could not read it. I did not have any need for it. I had already rummaged through the bag.
Insight check.
Why is this
And
book
left
so
it inside.
special?
Alright, man. Well, anyways, in that book, we may have lied to you and understood a little bit of it.
They
I have no need for the book. I do not have the
When they're
book.
fighting, can I
So
try and
if you'd
steal it back
like
from
to
them?
get it translated,
Which side hand check?
I think we
They don't
should
even hear me.
What,
break it
um,
out and get it
what were you
translated
looking for?
here.
Insight
Wait,
to see
she's
if you
doing a
lie.
what? A sleight of hand?
18.
I'm nowhere near
Okay.
them.
How
could she do a sleight of hand check if she's nowhere near me?
You're talking
I'm assuming
to us.
you're
No, we're talking from across. You said that I was in view, but
you would have.
I would
They
never
came
join.
in.
I
So
never joined the conversation.
So
At
you're
no
yelling
point did
us
I
from
move
across
from
Make
the
a
pillar.
stealth check.
I was just assuming
Stealth
we were
to
in the
what?
building.
I'm gonna run against
Same
a
thing,
passive
18.
perception because you two are having a heated discussion.
18.
You rolled 18 again?
Well, I just took this number and just
No,
changed the.
Judy. So you have the 18 for the sleight of hand, but to see if you can get up behind him.
11. Oh wait, no. Is my pastel tray still up?
When did you cast it?
Right when Christy took us.
No.
No.
It only lasts 10 minutes.
He talked for so
No,
long.
less an
that
hour.
birdhouse-
It lasts an
But
hour.
it still would have been.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
You talk too much.
'Cause I know what I'm doing.
You watch as Gwannipoe's like sneaking around behind you, and like for a
see a bird
split
pecking around.
second, there's this like moment where you're like, "Where the fuck did she go?" And then you feel something. And then you feel something on your hip, and you watch as the leather-bound piece is
like, hey,
like
hey.
ripped out of your pocket
It's not in my pocket.
or out of your
told you.
pouch. It's out of you put it in the pouch, right?
I put it in my pouch, but
Yes. And the thing we discussed.
on an 11?
Yeah, no, like you
11
notice it.
for
The whole point
self.
is that
The
he
point is
manages
it
to pull it out, but
wasn't
you're like
sneaky.
watching him do it. It's not
The
happening
sleight of hand was
easily.
good, but the stealth was bad.
Yeah, the stealth was bad. You're aware that it's happening, and you can react accordingly if you would like. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's not like where you
So
stole
I'm
from him
going
and he
to,
has
as
no
soon as
fucking
it
clue.
drops, I'm going to drop my bag,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to switch it with something, and I'm
Yeah,
going to
no,
show them
no. That's what she has.
what.
That's what the thing that we talked about. That's what she's holding.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna tell her to open it up. I'm going.
Yeah.
So what you took? Since you're so sneaky, open the book. What do you have in your hands? Tell me what you see.
You open the book, and there is like fetid meat, like rotten worms. There's like a little larva that kind of like drops out from the top of.
There's a worm.
And you look at it. It's totally You said worm?
Yeah, so he just kind of eyes the worm and he pecks it
Tunnel
out.
vision to the max.
Delicious.
And then he kind of slams the book and looks at you and just lets out a blood-curdling scream from like what he's heard before.
So what did you see?
There's just meat inside of it. There was no. It's not even looking at it again. It looks like it was like a false that was put in place to distract you, and it is not the book you were looking for.
So after I've snacked a freaking worm out of it, I kind of toss it to the side and I put my hand out and I point in it and I'm looking at you.
You found the only books that I have. I told you that I had no book. You come behind me. You try to steal my things. I should shoot you with an arrow, but I'm not going to because now you feel stupid.
As soon as he
I told you that the elephant has the book.
I will say, you out of everybody here, everybody's focused on this conversation. Like you guys are like it's like no, fuck you and give me the goddamn book back and all this, right? You kind of like staring. You like look around, and everyone, the whole agora is full, and everyone is like sitting. Watching this like massive drama unfold.
I think we should take this conversation elsewhere or sit still and wait for the meeting.
Elsewhere is a not practical idea, and everybody's head kind of turns, and you see standing in the middle of the agora is he's the oh no, I lost him. Oh no.
It doesn't exist. We won.
Yeah, no.
We beat the DM.
It's really embarrassing when you lose the thing that you were supposed to have. He's supposed to be the speaker. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I got him. Okay. You see, standing in the middle of the forum is a very broad, very tall, not as tall as you, probably about 6.5 feet tall. Creature that has wooden planking that goes back through the base of its skull. It has a metal mandible and these glowing orange eyes. You can see inside its chest area are like these like whirring gears and pumps, and you can see there are tubes, almost like tree roots that you can see kind of pulsing with liquid. What you're staring at is a massive, burly warforge with like this deep oaken color and black steel metal armor built into it. He kind of clears his throat. No expressions. His face is expressionless. All you see is his mouth move, and it makes sounds. He clears his throat. Let's see, where'd it go? Oh god, I lost it again. I, Theodore Mamedov, hereby convene this emergency council. Will the, what do we call them? Will the Archons please rise? And you watch as 12 people that are in the closest ring to the bottom stand up, and they each start going off. Carpenters present. Farmers present. And they go one after another. You hear magicians, masons, miners, prostitutes, sailors, scientists, shipwrights, smiths, and taverners. If you need me to repeat that, let me know.
I think he wants you to write those down.
Oh, yeah, then repeat that, please.
Okay, so you have the carpenters, the farmers. Oh, I missed financialists.
Where do they fit? Does it matter?
No.
Okay.
The magicians, the masons, the miners, the prostitutes.
Ladies of the night.
They call themselves prostitutes. Sailors, scientists,
They're scientists?
shipwrights, smiths, taverners.
Taverners?
Taverners. Tavern owners.
Like
Oh, okay.
bar owners.
Bar owners.
Scientists be more like alchemists?
Guess I'll figure that one out.
What did you ask?
As they
Scientists
each
will
go
love
through,
this.
you're watching. There is a changeling amongst them. The one that claims the farmers is a changeling. You see the same gray-white skin, almost like this black spot that keeps moving. Like, you know, Rorschach from
Watchmen.
It just kind of moves around the face, but it's always the same shape.
In the what guild?
This is the farmers. There are 2 Yontai, snake people. They have very scaly skin, but they're roughly humanoid. Sharp slits for eyes, and every now and then the tongue pokes out. Don't do that tongue thing. They do that tongue thing. There is a lizard folk, an elf, an Aarakocra. There's a fire genocide, a halfling, and a Leonin. And as you stand here and take all this in, you look around, and the population of Goodfellow is easily the most diverse that you've ever seen. There are orcs, there are bugbears, there are goblins, there is one, god damn it, don't lose me now, dark dwarf. Somebody help me out here. Shit! Thanks, internet.
Drow.
Nope, they're not drow. Drow are dark elves. I can't.
dark.
Dude, dark elves, D&D Beyond. Thanks, guys. They keep going. The races are wide and varied, and nobody seems to even blink an eye at these what would be traditionally considered evil races scattered amongst the population. What?
Darger?
Druagar. Thank you, Druagar.
Zombie.
They go through everybody, and Theodore kind of like raises his hand, and everybody sits down. Our town was attacked. Our children are missing. Our people are injured, but our pride is not lost. We are here together as a community, and we can overcome this as a community. However, there are some among us who are not from our community. And he kind of gestures at you. Outsiders, I ask you, step down here and tell us what you know.
I'll step down. Beautiful people of the community. Witnessed was a large demonic being, also known as the Gwannipoe. What's it called?
He like flips his pages and points for you to look at.
What does it say?
Yagi Gama.
Yagi Gama.
And as soon as you say that, like, there are some people that go into like deep whispers, like hushed conversations, and there's like one person that's like, lies!
You shut your mouth!
Lies and slander.
Anywho.
Theodore
Did
raises his hand.
we all hear the noise that it made when it disappeared?
The thunder strikes?
No,
or
the sound it
the
emitted.
call?
Uh-huh.
I would say everyone but you probably heard it because you were
Cool.
busy tapping people on the health bug.
The Yagigama came out of the building, and with it a dwarven child named Sarah. We followed it to the point of it being in the hills northeast or west? Northeast?
It would be northwest.
Northwest in the hills, where it then disappeared, giving off a demonic sound, which I cannot replicate.
Gwannipoe opens his mouth and replicates it.
It's quiet, but as you do, you watch like some of the members of the population kind of like shirk back, and like they're younger ones that are like covering their ears. And, it has profound impact.
He closes his mouth and ends the sound.
Me and some of my fellow compatriots would like to assist this great city and all of its culture and benefits of the world to find said child and bring peace.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh my god, I got a hold of you again.
Do we know if that noise was like a mating call of some sort, or like a call to other
from what you heard of it, it sounded like the feelings that you got were fear above everything else. But it struck fear in you, not that it sounded like it was afraid, it made you fearful. But it also made you feel lonely and sad.
Wow.
And there was a definite sense of longing in it.
23.
23. Most of the people around you start nodding their heads. One woman, an elf, stands up and she kind of bows gently.
I will bow.
Is
But
she
lower.
old? Does she have crow's
She
feet?
she's older, but
Would he call her old?
impeccable shape. She is an elf. She looks like she could be somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 350 years old.
I bow really low.
Do I recognize yourself?
Make a history check.
No, do I? Okay. So it's not the elf I just met.
No, she's taller, long
like
auburn
that
hair
bitch.
with one
God.
gray stripe through it. It falls over her shoulder like cascading
Never
water.
I'm just
She
gonna
has
get down on one knee and kind of respect.
7, I don't recognize her.
Gwannipoe just kind of looks at you and
You're right.
replicates what you're doing.
as you guys all start paying respect to her, she puts her hands up. Please understand, I am not here for the respect. My name is Joan, and I am the owner of the Ribald Coalition and the head speaker of the Prostitutes Guild.
Oh, shit.
You say the Yagigama. This creature is a creature of myth. It is a creature of forgotten pasts. It is not real. It is not something.
We're not
It's
the
not
only
real.
ones that saw it.
Who else?
The rest of our group unfortunately saw the same beast. We do not mean to show lies, but we do speak truth.
Our city has never been attacked before. Our city has never suffered such a massive blow. And I find it strange that you 6 appear here, and in short order, our city is
There's
under
the
attack.
injured.
Oh, God.
Injured are being,
Speaks or no?
There's the injured. The injured girl was there.
they are being taken
So-
care of in the hospital.
So the injured
Okay.
and the 2 people making commencement speeches did not see this being, only us 6? Is that what you're telling us?
The abbess is currently unconscious, but we hope to speak to her soon.
Well, what about the injured that are alive? That are...
Who here?
What
and
about
she turns.
Bertram?
She turns. Who here was at the ceremony? And you see a few people start standing up. Yes, we know. Thank you.
I actually built the thing.
You built it.
Actually.
You built it. Bertram. And you see Bertram kind of stands and he bows deeply to her and stands, like, rights himself.
What was her name again, by the way?
Her name is Joanne.
Joanne.
Joanne, oh Jesus. Hopate.
Oh.
Hopoata. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
It's okay, I'm just spelling it phonetically.
Hopoate?
I'm like, wait.
Hopoate.
what?
Get me. Yeah, I changed it.
Pote.
Hopate. Hopate.
Poate.
She's a prostitute named Pote.
Poate.
Hopoate. Bertram kind of writes himself, yes, these 3 actually, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong accent. These 3 actually helped organize, did not build, as my twin might have you believe, but I believe there was a 4th one, if I'm not mistaken. They were serving community service by order of the guard, and they helped us furnish and move supplies into the orphanage just
You
the
did
day
that
prior.
under community service.
No, actually, I did that out of the kindness of my heart.
Alright,
Yeah, but you
sorry.
keep telling everybody about it.
But I built it, okay? Let's just move on. We're moving on.
I want to know why such a meeting of the people where you are going to make accusations and ask what happened. how can you make such a meeting when you do not have anybody present that was there or can vouch to see?
As you can see, the population has represented itself. Now, can anybody here confirm or deny? And you see, of the people that are there, you recognize the bugbear that threw the axe.
Yeah!
He is sitting very sheepishly and not standing. He looks overly embarrassed.
Aww.
There is the turtle. Has a giant
No, he just had a wound.
like you and you can see like there's like a bandage across his shell, and he's got a black eye and like his face is swollen right here, but he's still like sitting there.
Is his name Orly?
No,
I
can't bring him into this. I love Orly.
I definitely recognize the turtle.
The turtle is, he's
there.
raising his hand, but he's sitting. He's got like a crutch under one arm. It looks like he's pretty banged up, but he's still
Will
shut
no
up.
one speak for me? How many lives did I save? I must have saved almost a dozen people yesterday.
Today.
Yesterday.
This happened
Today.
today.
It feels like it was a long time
He
ago.
likes to
Very
chew his
cocky.
I'm going to
very
point at the bugbear.
bullhorn.
And I'm going to say, you are ones that threw the hammer at the beast. Why are you not standing? If any, you have people who are injured, are you too afraid or have too much pride to stand up to the ones that looks like he's on life's edge, and we appreciate him being there and fighting, or at least being a witness. No one knew this would happen. So for you not to stand up is a shame.
Yeah.
And sitting there, like, some of the people are kind of like, oh, yeah, he's got a good point. Yeah. And, like, the bugbear is just, like, he looks 2 feet tall right now as he, like, just, like, puts his head in his hands. And he, like, kind of, like, leans out and is like, I am... I saw what they're talking about. And as he says that, a couple other folks start being like,
As you can see, we mean only goodness for the city.
Bertram said that there was another member. Bertram, and he... yes, a tabaxi fellow, if I remember correctly. I don't recall his face, tell you the truth, and frankly, I don't see him yet either.
Was his name Shiraz?
At the mention
Yes.
of Shiraz, a couple people kind of like look around confused. Joanne, Shiraz, where did you hear this name?
He was working with us to help furnish, or build, in my opinion, the orphanage.
We had drinks with him last night.
Yes, he was supposed to come with us in the morning to the ceremony. I didn't see him there though.
Why not?
Captain, and she kind of
All jackasses right now.
she turns and points, and sitting in the second row, you see the female Goliath, Christy. She stands up, my lady. When you disposed of Shiraz, and Christy kind of like looks a little ashamed.
Christy.
My
Fucking Christy.
perhaps not quite as disposed of
Love
as
you.
many would like. I believed that he would have died of his wounds, yes, but he managed to escape off the side of the Clod Falls, and well, nobody has ever survived that fall. And murmurs.
So you
kind of-
attacked Shiraz?
Shiraz, Joanne kind of goes back. Shiraz is a traitor, if you will. Someone who has...
How did he go from helping us build an orphanage, from the ground up, I mind you, to being an enemy of the people?
Shiraz, for all intents and purposes, is a ghost, but that would be the second ghost that we have seen today. Bertram, how do you not...
He's
She
an
kinda-
agent, Nazi. He's not a ghost. That's
And
just
he-
racist.
Well, Bertram kind of like sits there and you look, and like looking closer at him, like you see the age the air that whips around him and keeps his flesh like puffed out beguiles his eyes, and it's really his eyes that when you guys get up and close and start looking at him and like questioning his age, you realize that his white eyes probably not supposed to be white, and they're probably actually cataracts. And
Then how
he is
did he
just
see me
butt
yesterday
fucking
as I
old.
was
He is butt fucking old.
not blind apparently?
Not perfectly blind, but
he
maybe
didn't see
not
the
the
other guy's
best
light.
at this.
He calls
Which
me
is
twin.
probably
He's
why
legally
he
blind.
didn't see the creature and cannot corroborate your story. And only recognizes you guys by your... Well, he hasn't mentioned it, but to this point you realize that he's probably only recognizing you by your main features, like a purple set of rows or being a giant
But
horse.
he didn't hear it. See this big old demonic creature with
Black looking thing.
blue
From a distance, it could be difficult.
gazing.
What distance? It exploded behind him.
And then
There
he's
was no
probably
distance.
knocked
It
out
was
laying on his back.
pregnant
Get out of here!
You did say I saved him, so he probably got knocked out right away.
Get out.
Right.
So, we would want and need to find Sarah. If we could have your blessings.
One of the scientists stands up. He is he's a Vedalkin. Blue skin, long blue stripes that run through the back of his head. Mostly hairless, sharp pointed ears, very stocky build. He stands up. What is his name? Stanley Vosberg. Scientist. I ask you, what evidence you have that is Yagigama, not some other creature or pestilence?
That is true. There is
Good
nothing but
question.
circumstance. We cannot say for certain that's what it is. But
So
just
the
a guess.
fact that a large beast
There are many
through
large
the
beasts
town.
in the world. We create large beasts at university. We never let them out of cage, but we can create many things with the power of science. And you hear, like, from the corner, one of the magicians is, like, chuckling, like, you fucking shit.
Gwannipoe, show him the book.
What's the dude's
That's
last
our
name?
proof.
Vosberg.
Vosberg.
So Gwannipoe pulls out, his version of what he's seen, the symbol in the book, and kind of points at it, but then kind of looks at you. The real deal.
Everybody, like, she's like, he is standing there holding the book, like, presenting it, and, like, Vosberg just kind of like, is there a problem?
So I'm just saying, there's a book that was found right outside the town where I hunt beasts.
Would you say it was, oh god, that was the wrong accent. Would you say it's northwest of here? In forest?
There was. It was a camp that was set up. There was a bag that was left empty, and there was a campsite that looked abandoned. We found a book. I gave it to the elephant. The elephant apparently lost it, and this is where we are. That's what you heard us arguing about. She tried to pull the journal out, or a journal out of my bag. He tried to drag the journal out of my bag.
Gwannipoe just says really loud, bull sheets, and says shit in your accent.
You have seen the book. You pulled it out of my ass and got a worm out of it. I even fed
Alright,
you.
enough of you two. That is our proof on what we know.
It was in the
what
book.
we
I can
saw.
vouch
He, like,
that. I can-
Vosberg grabs it, shows it to some of the scholars, they, and, like, one of them's like, that's the
But I
symbol of
can-
the Yagigama.
But I'm gonna say I can vouch that was the symbol in the book. Wherever it is, I don't know, but
I do have a point to make here, though. Why does it matter? What does it matter what it was? The fact is,
Theodore
we
steps
were
up.
attacked. We helped. We
how
jumped
did
in
you
the fray.
hold on, how did you know about the campsite northwest of here? I found this maybe 5 days ago. I don't
The guard
even know.
has been reporting, this is Theodore, the Warforged. The guard has been reporting sightings of suspicious folk wandering around in the forest. Unable to capture them, we've been on extra guard, moving most of our forces to the forest line. But you said he helped you perform community service, the Shiraz.
That is correct.
Correct. And I think that your town needs as much guard and as much assistance for the turmoil that was caused. You could simply use us at your disposal to locate this Yamizama.
Was there anything else discovered? Anyone have anything? And he's kind of open question. Anyone else have anything they can provide? Any other evidence outside of circumstance?
How close is Connak to me?
How close are you to the rest of the group? I mean, you did pull the book out. I'm assuming you probably would have like gravitated back towards him.
Okay, I'm just gonna blatantly
15,
start tugging
20,
on him and start
15,
not
20
even
feet.
just trying to be discreet, just like poking and prodding at him at this point. Him, Connak.
If you were to search the obnoxious elfin man over here, you'd find a book that might help you guys.
While she's poking him,
Well,
can I
me.
cast? While he's poking him, can I cast Mage Hand and try and search him?
It would be incredibly difficult because everybody's looking.
Yeah.
It would be incredibly difficult. Yeah, everybody's looking at you guys.
I don't care if everyone else sees me. I just care about him. And she's distracting him by poking and pecking him.
No, he is poking Phan.
No, he's
No,
poking.
I'm poking
Oh,
Connak.
you're poking
yeah.
Connak. Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of gonna just like point out to everybody that I believe he has the book, and then if you guys were to search him, you'd probably find it, and I would gladly help out with this. And as I kind of tell you this, I'm gonna turn around and kind of face him and be like, "This is your last chance to give me the fucking book. Otherwise, we're all gonna hold you down and search."
Friend, I'm not
it comes
here.
down to this. If you want proof, go to the orphanage. What else could have done something like that? If you go into one of the rooms that we believe might be Sarah's room,
Which
there
room
are
was that?
3 scratches on the walls.
So-
this creature has 3 claws that are 12 inches long that could do this damage to this room. What else could have done it?
You searched the orphanage.
Yes. It was in the back. If you go down the hallway, it was in
Did
the
you
back
find
room.
anything else?
Didn't
There
you
was
guys?
a rummage room.
You guys
Yes.
found a bear, didn't you? A stuffed animal?
We
Maybe
located
they
the
would
room.
recognize
There was a
that.
bunch of broken beds and claw marks with blood all over the room.
Very well. An investigation will be open as to the nature of who caused this. However, if you believe that the 6 of you can track down and capture this creature, save our children, you would be handsomely rewarded.
Capture, as in, can we not kill it? We have to bring it to you. It's 15 feet tall.
Dead or alive would be the specifics that we need.
Dead or alive.
Cool. We shall endeavor to assist this lovely city.
What is a pretty penny to you?
Pretty penny. Well, and it, like he kind of like looks you up and down. Citizenship and houses for each of you.
I would settle for some clean clothing.
Make a persuasion check.
To have some clean.
You gotta persuade that?
That's a low ball anyway.
On top of, I'm assuming this is on top of, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I want this done now.
I'm gonna ask. Was
11.
the little girls that was taken?
We have some leathers that might fit you.
Was she special to the town? I tried to ask one of the knights, one of the older half-elf knights, if this why.
It's straight bullshit. He came into my house and he called me old like 16 times. It was really offensive.
You have not
I did not.
You're
not aged a day.
I said it in a vein that respected elders, and she did not enjoy it, and that's
true.
okay. This is a difference of how people talk amongst themselves. There was no harm meant, but what I'm asking is, does anybody here know why a dwarven child, and who was this child? right? Is it weird that they would take an orphan? Why not take someone?
I think it's weird you like.
Why not take a
That-
king or
child,
queen?
That is information that we will seek to uncover. We're not aware at this time. Sarah was, by all means, important to us as a member of our society. However, did not resemble anything of particular status or importance more than just someone that we care for.
Our understanding is that there is another child missing as well.
Jeremy, yes. We have reason to believe that he has either fled the city or... And he kind of dips his head. We're not sure.
I didn't investigate the room at all, and I have no evidence of anything other than I saw the little girl on the back. But he's either eaten by this thing or is this thing would be my two interpretations.
I agree with what the elephant man is saying.
I would gladly help, but we would appreciate some kind of information on the two children before we go about that. If you could lead us in the direction, maybe the orphanage manager, or
He kind of turns and looks, and like you follow his gaze, and he's staring at Bertram, who's still standing there.
we got to mail Karen, so he'll get the manager going.
Milk Karen.
Male
God.
Karen.
Oh, I heard milk Karen. I'm like, I am all
We
for
just gotta
milk.
milk Karen
What's
before we
milk
leave.
Karen?
Yeah, we gotta milk Karen real quick.
It would be a Karen.
Very well. We will have some designated time. Bertram, you are to relieve any information you have to these Good Samaritans. If you come across any further data, information, findings.
I mean, a whole book of it we have. Cough, cough. I know we mentioned it a couple times.
Friend, if you have that book, I won't hold it to you while you're in front of your friends, but the captain of the watch, I believe you know her, Christy, maybe make some time for her and have a conversation. And if that book's important to you, we can leave it in your your possession. But it would help us nonetheless.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look over to the elf that I spoke with and ask her, is the Beastmasters at Jovis that you told me about present from the university?
She kind of nods and points towards the scholars sitting. So you start realizing, based on the cut and cloth of everybody's outfit, there are certain cliques almost in this. The farmers are all wearing dingy, ruddy clothes. The prostitutes are all very well dressed with supple forms. The academics all have the same beige robes on. And one of them sitting back, you see a dragonborn. He's blue. And just the way the robes match so well tastefully with the blue sapphire of his scales. Can't help but wonder, like, was this purposeful? Like, you're just captivated for a moment because he looks so damn good. Older fella, there's no expression on his face. But as she points, you see the small ripple in the scales behind his jaw. And he kind of nods at you.
I immediately fall in love.
He's handsome.
What would a beast
Stop falling in love over
that
there.
has blue
Sylphin.
aura oozing from
You will
it,
never
right?
put
Big,
me in a box.
the big, the thing that popped out of the ball was big, long, sort of talon-like, right? Able to scratch that stone, but ooze the blue aura. Why would it go up to the mountains, or where is it from? Why is it here? Why is it even close? It doesn't seem like something that is from here. It can teleport.
The dragonborn stands up. John Morm. I cannot speak to the authenticity of such a creature. However, tales of the Yagigama say that it is born of hatred and loneliness, that it seeks isolation and at the same time seeks to drag those who experience the most joy down in its isolation. It feeds on fear from those who would otherwise not know fear, from the innocent. Sarah was an infant when she came to us. Rejected a few times, she never seemed to give up. She always had that hope and that sparkle and that smile. And there are several people in the crowd that are like kind of tearing up and nodding their heads. And some people are looking like really like,
Sarah!
Jeremy was, for all intents and purposes, a prime candidate. Yagigama, from what we know, are made. They are not born. Horrible, evil rituals, sacrifices, hatred for a lifetime poured into one object, a token given to someone who has suffered equally and has as much hate in their heart. Fables, fairy tales. Love thy brother. We've all heard this story before, but it's never been something, never been like this. Everybody kind of, I don't know if you're searching for the Yagigama. None of us do. But if what you're saying is true, yes, the creature you described could be.
It was beautiful.
That was an awesome DM moment.
Thank you.
I do have a question. We would like to also speak potentially and get some information from the prostitutes, the guild of some sort, and would like to know the location of the, I don't know how you do a ranking of some sort, to the establishment of the certain prostitutes. We would like to know that location for further questioning.
There
Joanne
are
is
prostitutes
still
here? That's disgusting. Where?
Fuck up.
Joanne is still standing
You're
like right next to you.
trained.
Every time somebody stands up, nobody sits down. It's like once you speak, you're standing.
Cool.
Joanne is standing there and she kind of chuckles and blushes. Darling, all you have to do is ask.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
asking thoroughly right now.
Well, my sisters, and she turns and looks, and you see like the other girls that are behind her. While they look like their behavior is like sisterly, where it's like, I fucking hate you, but if anybody were to come in from the outside, they would just be demolished immediately. Like, you don't fuck with my sister, but I fucking hate my sister.
I like to try to do my best devilish, sexy grin that I could possibly do to charm them just a smidge.
So, the frustration that you're getting is not directed at you, it's directed at Joanne. And she like looks back and smiles. The Ribald, of course. The Ribald.
The Ribald?
Ribald Conclave. Come stop by.
Coalition or conclave?
Coalition. Conclave's from a different story.
Thank you. I really appreciate your
Ribald
time.
Coalition. Thank you.
And I'd like to just be sitting there rubbing my horns.
You fucking weirdo.
I think I'm gonna follow. I don't have a mustache.
You got a
Please,
twinge.
check with the god before you go. Yes? And you see Christy in the corner. Simple. Easy. If nobody has anything else, I believe that is our business here is settled. However, I would like to see the archons in private, that we may discuss the matters at hand of subversion, and I believe our enemy has finally made their first move. And you see the other archons kind of like nod and agree. And the speaker, Theodore, thank you all for coming. You may return to your duties, and as always, do what you are good at. And everybody kind of stands up and starts
Where
partying
does the group go to talk?
The
They just
group
stay out
seems to just linger in the middle for a minute.
Okay, I have a feat that is observant,
Mm-hmm.
so I can read lips.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to sit there and try to see what they're saying.
You catch the scientists. There's a couple of them that pull off to the side for a second, and they're talking about a project. They keep referring to it as Triton. And it kind of makes you laugh because there are Tritons in their midst. Like there's a fish person that isn't one of the gasping fish people. It's like a human fish person. There are the Masons who appear to be talking about a new build in the city and all the repairs they're going to have to make to the orphanage. The scientists are talking mad shit about the magicians. The magicians are talking mad shit about the scientists. And the prostitutes are standing silently with bitter, shitty looks on their faces, like somebody literally just killed their dog, as they all like wait for Joanne to like direct them, and it looks like none of them are happy about it.
Okay.
They don't talk about anything?
Nope, they're all just standing there staring at her, waiting to like be
That was
excused.
completely...
Before they disperse, I want to go up and I want to ask them, or I want to bring up the point. Okay, according to the man's story,
Who are you talking to?
all the leaders, one by one, if I have to.
Aren't they
Okay.
separated?
If they're separated,
No,
that's fine.
they're just kind of lingering.
They're
in the middle.
lingering, okay.
The population's leaving. The
I
general
didn't
town
want to
population.
bring this up in front of everyone. I don't want to cause a panic. But the Dragonborn man was talking about a potential item given filled with hatred. So, if this Yamagi... fuck is it?
Yagi?
Yeah, I laugh
Yagi Gama.
because that is a Japanese word.
I know, and I should know.
Yeah.
The Yagi Gama is created from an item that was given to a person that was filled with hate. So
Yes.
if this Yagi Gama turns out to be Jeremy, it could have been an item given to him by someone in the town. And I didn't want to bring this up, because I don't want to thread that needle, but I'm telling the leaders, maybe keep an eye out.
Listen, I appreciate your concern, but we're on the same page.
Alright.
You might know from what we've talked about that Shiraz was not welcome here and was supposed to be executed for his crimes. He claimed to be doing only the best and what was in the best interest of Goodfellow. However, folks died, and our integrity as an economy and as a population was tested. Shiraz was sentenced to death, but if he did not die, I wouldn't put it past him
So you
to
believe
have come
he
back.
is the highest suspect right now?
Suspect number one.
Okay.
Can I be reading the lips of this happening?
I mean, they're not trying to hide it. If
Cool.
you're standing right next to them, they're...
I pull Odette to the side. I say, I think maybe one of the items we have potentially turned Jeremy into a Yagigama. So we may potentially have that on our hands.
Word up. Does anybody hear this?
Well, I'm saying it just to her,
She said
whispering.
she pulled him aside. Pulled her aside.
I'm gonna go over to the Dragonborn who was speaking, and I'm going to ask him. I'm gonna pretty much tell him like I shot an arrow into him, and I could tell that this thing didn't flinch. So, what is there another creature that is there in myth supposed to be another creature that takes down the Yagigama, or is it an army of people?
Over the course of several minutes, he explains to you that they are not invulnerable to damage. There are some things that are less effective against them, but from all the scripts and myths and rumors and legends, you gather that it is a very hardy creature. It has, if you had to quantify it into a number system that was used for a game mechanic, effectively a large pool of health points. A very large pool of health points.
There's no like mythical weapon or.
None that he knows of.
Gwannipoe
You hit a bear with a needle.
overheard you asking those questions. And he just took out his book and wrote, what did Shiraz do? And he just kind of shows it to the leaders.
Prove yourself first.
And where's
Then we'll talk about it.
where is he from?
Shiraz was one of us. Shiraz was... We come from many different places. We accept everyone as they are, and as long as you're good at something and you do what you're good at, you provide some sort of good or service for this town, you can be a citizen, and that's no problem. It's those that refuse that get put into servitude, and once they've served their time, then are allowed to join the ranks of the commune. However, you're not bound here by any means. Some of our officers are known by the outside world as slaves, but they have nowhere else to go. Refugees, men on the run, people who have pasts they want to escape, can come here and start a new life. I believe Shaw's was a pirate at one point in time. Pissed off the wrong captain, naturally, and he kind of like looks out, and as you guys stand here, you turn and look, and you can see the whole sprawling cityscape. Right next to you is the university, and it is beautiful and ivory and carved marble. There are gemstones laid in different places that reflect light, and it's not dark by any means. It's probably in the mid-afternoons at this point, 2 o'clock. The quarry behind it, even though it's basically like a strip mine setup, still has a very pretty aesthetic to it. And even in the distance, you can see the darkened halls of the God, what do we call it? The clinker. We call it the clinker. It's called the clinker. The Cliffwatch Clinker. Thank you. Which is the local jail that you guys were at.
We were at, yeah.
It's all very beautiful, and the rolling hills behind it, you start to gather this is a very tactically built city. This city was designed to be defensive. All of the living spaces are up against the wall inside the kind of cliff face, so if you started throwing shit down, you wouldn't hit the houses. The way the city is kind of bowed into the wall, it looks like it can't be hit from the windward side of the ocean cliffs. And you know that, you guys especially know that coming into the city is a very difficult process where you get checked thoroughly, and then you have to walk through about 80 feet of wall. This whole area is designed to be fortified as well defendable, well protected. The only weak point may be the docks, but there is a massive population, or there's supposed to be a massive population of guards that monitor the dock area. Right now, you know that a lot of them are currently manning the forest region.
What time of day is it?
It's not 4.
4 p.m.?
I would like to make
Two, sorry, I just said 2. It's about 2.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
I'd like to adjust my deal with them if I'm going to do this. I don't really care to have a place to live here, especially if you're given one Gwannipoe. We can share. I would appreciate
here
a
to judge what
standalone
relationships you have.
I would appreciate a standalone building, though, that's paid off that I could use for whatever I would like.
You can have a house. It's no problem.
Not what
Standalone building.
I just
Any
want to
kind of-
start a business.
A business, you say? I see.
Yes, that would be the goal.
There may be some vacant buildings, not standalone, but its own 4 walls.
I don't need anything real big, just something.
Find the child. Find the children if you can.
We'll do.
We'll talk from there.
So, now that we are a group, shall we take to the woods? Replenish stuff that we need?
Make camp.
Make camp?
As you say that, Joanne walks up behind you and very gingerly grabs your face and just lets her fingers caress your jawline.
I smack.
Make a attack roll.
Oh, Jesus. You're attacking the lady inside the temple.
Well, what?
You're just an unarmed strike.
What's 6 hit? Oh, it's plus. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
7 to it.
13 hit?
It hits, but it's not for damage. It's just enough to like smack her hand, and she kind of like quickly withdraws. You are spicy, yes. I like that.
Do not touch my girl.
How's the heck is about to get into a fight?
Girls. I have many girls. Come, stay, the ribald. You'll need your strength. We have companionship. We have good food. We have drink.
So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, yeah? We start in the morning.
I'm down.
Yeah, we go. See ya.
We can
Absolutely
head out.
going there.
So all 6 of us go
You
there?
guys got a breakfast place?
Continental.
I am not going to go.
Okay.
Gwannipoe goes, but he doesn't really know what to do when he gets there.
Yeah, I would say honestly, you probably have never been in a situation like this. Based on your age and what you did in the past, you've never been in this. Like walking in is culture shock.
Here's a lot of new sounds.
A lot of macaroni noises.
His repertoire kind of grows a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
Meet us here at sunrise.
I'm gonna
tomorrow.
find somewhere in the town that looks like it hasn't been touched in a very long time.
Okay.
What's the
There is.
what's the name of what's the language?
I would like to
Is it
ask-
Undercommon.
It was undercommon.
I would
no,
like to
it
ask
wasn't
you to come
undercommon.
back
It was
for
deep stage.
breakfast. Outside of that, we would have asked you to come back
Yeah.
for breakfast in the
So
morning.
you will find us afterwards.
So I'll be up in the morning. So I am going to rip out a few pages of what I can tell is that language you just said. I don't know why I can't remember.
Deep speech.
And I'm going to go find Christy.
Okay.
But I'm going to put the rest of the book elsewhere.
Okay.
And so I go walk around or I ask around for Christy.
Yeah, it's easy enough. They point you towards the guards temple, and it's you have to walk through. You're familiar with it. As you walk down towards the gates, on the right side are the farmlands where they do a lot of the growing of their primary, like potatoes, corn, thing like that. It's a large space. It's extremely long. Like the walk is probably several miles to get to the front gate. And this area seems to be reserved right now for food. But as the city grows, maybe it will be repurposed, and they'll rely more on trade of food. Or you're not really sure. On the left side is a beautiful garden that even walking past, there's orchards, there's places to sleep, there are benches, there's fountains. And as you walk, you kind of have this thought of like, maybe I'll stay there later. I would say you make it about to the point where you can see the guard fort, and that's where we will pick up next time, next week. Cool.
Thank you, everybody!
Thanks for being here.
I
Leona,
can
Brendan,
20-minute rant.
our two
I
people.
didn't want to have a 20-minute rant.
Well, yeah, we'll get it next time. We're calling it for
Start
tonight.
off with it.
Thanks everybody who watched, stuck around to the end. If you didn't stick around to the end, hope you enjoyed on YouTube.
Liana.
You can find it on
Hey,
YouTube.com/woodness_guild.
That one may not be an underscore.
That one may not be an underscore. We'll get back to you
Don't
on
quote
that.
me.
We'll find out. We appreciate you guys' time. We appreciate your energy.